6 o'clock, good morning, live from the Circus Sports in the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. Spain is back atop the soccer world after beating Argentina 1-0 in the 2026 World Cup final yesterday at MetLife Stadium. Spain wins their second World Cup in their history. It's the first time since 2010. Ferran Torres subbed in on the 62nd minute and then scored in the 16th minute of extra time, lifting Spain over Lionel Messi in Argentina. Spain's shutout was their seventh of the tournament, which is the most in World Cup history. On Saturday, England beat France 6-4 in a dramatic match to win third place in the World Cup. England forward Bukayo Saka tallied a hat-trick, and France forward Kylian Mbappe scored twice, winning the Golden Boot of the World Cup. And the British Open, 39-year-old New Zealander Ryan Fox birdied the final hole to win the Open at 10 under on the weekend, taking home a $3.2 million check. It's Fox's first major championship win in his career. Coming up today, SEC Media Days kicks off in Tampa Bay. Josh Heupel and the Vols speak this afternoon. The player attendees to represent the Vols are running back Deshaun Bishop, linebackers Aaron Carter, and Jeremiah Telander. Oklahoma, Missouri, and Kentucky also are speaking today. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Out of the blocks and off and running on this Monday morning. Good morning and welcome in to Ramon and Will. 615-737-1045 is our number, and streaming live at 1045 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. He is the 11-year NFL veteran, Titans radio analyst Ramon Foster. Justin Hawkins at the controls, making the show happen. Myself, Will Bowling, on this Monday, July the 20th. Talking season is officially here. Not only is it SEC Media Circus Day 1, it is Tennessee Day at SEC Media Days, boys and girls. Good morning. How we doing?
What up? Well, good morning, man. Welcome in. By the way, watched intently to the soccer match this weekend. Not World Cup, Nashville SC.
That's the right answer, because that was my follow-up question.
78th minute of the game, I saw madness again inside of Geodis, man. It was a good time. It looked like it was rocking. And I don't know if it was a, hey, we missed you players, or was it a, hey, everybody's intense because of the World Cup, and now they understand soccer and love it so much more. I don't know which one it was. It was phenomenal.
It was a great crowd, and to be fair, every crowd against Atlanta is always a good crowd.
Man, what am I saying?
Sold out, 30,109. We'll talk about the game later, but yeah, fun weekend.
Good weekend, man.
A minor health miracle to get me to broadcast the game on Friday night.
It was one of
And I'm not kidding at all.
I know.
So essentially what happened was I left here Thursday after the show thinking, well, my voice is kind of going a little bit, but I will be fine. Yeah. I'll definitely be able to call the game fine. I should be able to do the show Friday morning as well, but maybe won't be able to do both. We'll see. Yeah. And I kid you not, within about 2 hours of me leaving here and us having that conversation, I couldn't so much as whisper. I genuinely, my voice went from kind of sounding like this, where it's not, and over the radio, you guys probably can't totally tell because our microphones do a really good job of making voices sound a little bit fuller. You might just tell I'm not being as loud as usual, which probably is a better thing, to be honest with you anyway. But I, without speaking, just totally, and I mean totally, lost my voice. I was over at Nashville SC practice before their game Friday night. Was like trying to ask questions to Coach PJ Callahan, trying to interact with the other broadcasters. Like, I could not speak.
That's terrible.
Could not speak. And thank God, literally went from that to being able to call the game in about a 30-hour span, thanks to modern medicine, throat coat tea, a Vicks vocal humidifier, and literally speaking none to my lovely wife at home in the day and a half that I was home. So it was quite the weekend.
I hear you trying to laugh and talk at the same time.
That was coughing.
Yeah,
that was a
caught
cough.
you at that point in time. I've been there once, maybe twice, but it wasn't because, well, it probably was a sickness. I just got one of those overnight colds that you get, and like you couldn't speak. Like, yeah, I've been there before, and there's nothing you can do but wait it out. So I commend you for being able to call the Nashville LC match this weekend, man. That's tough.
We cut a halftime, and Jackson Williams, our producer, I was talking to him. I was like, "Be honest with me. How bad did that sound?" He was like, "No, it wasn't bad." I was like, No. But like, I need you to, if it was, I need you to tell me.
Yeah.
I need to know what I'm dealing with. And he was like, legitimately, I couldn't really tell. Your voice was kind of going a little bit if you hadn't told me.
Yeah.
And so that's when I kind of realized, like, all right, these mics are so good, and the power and magic of radio is so incredible that I heard the highlight back of the one highlight we played at halftime. I was like, all right, you can't really tell. So let me just lock in, be a little bit more economical in the words that I do use, and not be as verbose in describing things, and just be efficient. And it worked out. And Nashville won 1-0.
It's 6:06, and you dropping verbose early this morning, okay?
I've had a lot of words that have been circulating and percolating in my head that I haven't been able to say because I've not been on the radio.
That's not a $5 word, but like that's one of those words you could have used a different word for. Verbose, okay? Now we're using that one, okay? Now we're in. Now we're locked in, okay? Well, I'm glad to have you back in. I'm glad to have you somewhat back to normal as well.
Ooh. Me too.
And I know we'll talk more and more about it during the show, but what a weekend, what a week it was for soccer. The 5-week stretch that FIFA was, man, I thought was super awesome, more than it ever has been in my life. I saw friends of mine who were at MetLife that went to go enjoy the championship match as well. But I had an interesting weekend also, and I have a hot take of mine, too.
Okay.
It's not really. It's a life take.
Well, we're going to dive into the game here in about 15 minutes.
Okay. All right. So this weekend, I'm going to call her out because at this point I have to with this one. So this weekend, we were going to Georgia as a family. Me, my son's wife, and also my mother-in-law, she went with us, too. My son's got a couple visits going on, and my wife, the smart one of the couple, decided that, hey, we don't need to drive 2 vehicles now. So we go to B&A, we rent a rental. We end up getting a minivan. By the way, slept on minivans, I'm wrong. For every guy that I laughed at that's driving a minivan, I'm sorry, because they are cool as heck. Do you understand me? The sliding door side of it, you know how many miles per gallon I got in this minivan? We were getting, and I got a heavy foot, we were getting about 26 miles per gallon.
Okay.
In this minivan, and I love it, okay? I absolutely loved every bit of it. But my wife's just like, you know what? We don't need to drive 2 cars. You don't have to drive. How about you and our youngest just catch a flight back? That way, it's an easier trip back home for you, and we don't have 2 cars in Georgia while they also go to different states to visit colleges with my oldest.
Sure.
Exciting time for us. Here I am thinking, okay, this will be efficient. But I told her, it's like, I'd much rather drive back. It's only from like Georgia to Hendersonville. I'll be fine. This is probably going to bite me in the butt by me ratting on her like this, okay? But at the same point in time, we get to the airport, which was an hour drive to the airport. We came from like Cartersville, okay? Cartersville, Georgia, which is north of like Marietta and Atlanta. So we had to drive an hour to the airport. We get to the airport, flight's supposed to leave at like 7:26 was the flight time.
And mind you, that airport probably pretty good at avoiding delays, I would say.
Very much so. Very much so.
At least in my head, that's the truth.
That's what I thought, because there's so many flights, big planes, so you should be good.
Right.
Low weather,
but I could easily make that argument. Like, oh, yeah, no, it's Atlanta. It'd be fine.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking, Will. So we get to the airport. By first and foremost, traffic in Atlanta is terrible. Get around the airport. They're wishing us by real quick. Okay. We'll get our bags and we'll go inside. Didn't check any bags, anything. Get to our gate. Will, we sit there for 2.5, 3 hours because we are delayed.
Oof.
I'm somewhat
brutal.
Just seething a little bit, just like I would be home right now if I didn't listen to my smart wife. I was just saying that to myself. I didn't say anything. We finally talk later that night.
So you're saying something now?
I am saying something now. We get home later that night. She's just like, I'm so sorry. I was like, why? I'm at that point, I'm like, why?
Yes, I know
why? Why? Sorry. Well, I guess you guys should have drove back home. And I'm thinking to myself, this is one of those afford to lose an argument moments right there. And I think we all learned a lesson because of it, Will. We all learned a lesson. Just let me drive, okay? That's all I wanted to do. And lo and behold, if she's listening right now, this is probably going to bite me in the butt a little bit later.
Yeah, I was going to say, you might end up still losing.
I might.
Out of this interaction by taking it to the radio, but...
It was just one of those moments where I was told by a guy, afford to lose as many arguments as you can. that was one. On the back end, I tucked my chin up. I looked at her over the FaceTime. Was just like, was that a smart idea now?
No. I can hear you saying it exactly like that, too. Exactly like that.
And we didn't even go above, I forget what he said, maybe 10,000 feet on the plane. By far, one of the weirdest flights I've ever been on. We flew low.
It's a quick one.
I know. And then what was crazy, when we came down, he put the nose like way down, probably like a 25-degree angle.
Oh, goodness. Wow.
And leveled us out. And Miles looked at me like, Dad, I said, son, I'm in trouble with you.
Mayday.
Yeah. It was a cool flight. But it turned essentially about a 3.5 hour drive.
So, but my other question is, did they tell you how long the delay was going to be on the front end, or did they just keep extending it out?
They kept extending it
See,
out.
those are the worst, too, because if I know, like, hey, they're going to get us a new plane, it's going to be 2 hours. No. I can download a show, I can lock in on something else, I can turn on TV, and then I just have a layover that I can just relax in. But when it's just extending it out, and you don't have the ability to actually do anything else because you keep waiting for more updates.
It was terrible. We get down to 36 minutes,
sucks.
and it go back up to an hour and 5 minutes. I was just like, oh, my God. And each time it delayed, to your point, I just got more and more just like, I could be in Chattanooga. I could be on Montego.
That's it. Even when you are driving and you stop somewhere, that is a thought that kills me. If I'll stop, because every now and then I'll stop to coming home from Tennessee games that I've broadcasted, I'll stop to like sit down and eat to prep everything for the show, check emails, make sure that the world hasn't ended in the time that I've been calling a soccer game or basketball or softball or something like that. And I'll think to myself like, wow, if I hadn't stopped for those 45 minutes, I'd be in Carthage right now.
Yeah, I know.
I'd be in Lebanon right now. And then I'll just get mad at myself for stopping. And then the next time, I'll just be really hangry and just drive all the way through and probably drive way too
Should have
fast.
stopped. Yeah, no doubt. So that happened this weekend. I'll probably pay for it later, but it is what it is at this point, okay? Point proven is what I say. Besides, she won't be back till tomorrow. Hopefully she's not upset if she hears this. The other part, I realized it this weekend after being outside in Georgia heat again. And this was also the end of my son's travel with his travel team, to travel baseball with his travel team. I got yesterday, life decision. Summer's officially over now.
Yep. I'm starting to get to that point, too.
You get it? You feel it?
You get inside 50 days to college football.
Bro.
And yesterday, Scott Hansen from NFL Red Zone put on Twitter, see you in 8 Sundays. Yeah. I'm to that point. Let's go ahead and get to fall.
I'm okay with a countdown.
Go ahead and get to football season.
You okay with a countdown now?
Absolutely, I'm okay with the countdown.
Okay,
I was talking about there was somebody at the station the other day. I won't out them in this, but I was talking about this the other day because for what we do, you want to, and for what you did for 11 years as an NFL player as well, you want to enjoy every bit of the summer because it is your break. It is your calm before the storm. But then you get to a point to where you keep seeing more and more football on your phone and on your television, and we go through the dead of content season to where we're in list season, and it's NFL 100, and preseason games start getting closer, and you just start looking at those countdowns again. Mm-hmm. And you just start wanting football. And I was talking to somebody the other day who was like, yeah, I don't really ever get to that point anymore because I've got to enjoy summer because of how busy we get in the fall. I'm ready to be busy again in the fall.
Me too.
I'm ready to feel a cool breeze, slap me in the face. I'm ready to make some corn chowder or chili in a Dutch oven and turn on football and rot in the special part of my couch where I can just get a little extra comfortable and put on the hoodie that's got a bunch of other chili stains from football seasons past. That is what I am ready to do. I got there too this weekend, Ramon. I am ready to watch some football.
I don't know if it became hotter for the last time or just like, we don't have to deal with this
World Cup ending for me did that a little bit as well.
Bro.
And we're going to continue through the Nashville SC season, of course, which we hope goes through middle of December. But I am ready for some football.
Thank you, man.
Absolutely, I am.
And I think just what it is, like FIFA fed us, Nashville SC has fed us pretty good. I'm watching a little bit of WNBA, but I also thought to myself, one, it's getting darker sooner. It was cool on Saturday evening when we got to the crib. I was like, oh, this is football weather. But I'm glad that we're on the same page. Hawk, We're going to give baby T-Hawk like a pumpkin spice latte, like onesie. Like, everybody's
about
locked
that
in
one.
at this
Just make
point.
him a pumpkin.
What? Yes.
We can make him a pumpkin.
We
Not
can-
a pumpkin spice latte.
We ain't going to do that?
He's going to be like his dad. Doesn't like him.
Okay. All right.
That's what you think. The thing is, that's not up to you. He's calling the shots.
Yeah, my wife loves them.
Still, Uncle Moan and Uncle Will got influence on this one.
Nah,
Yeah.
He's got some coffee in the house with pumpkin spice. I'm like, dang it.
He's going to know ball. He's going to love pumpkin.
Exactly, man. But
All right, there you go. July 20th, where summer ended for Ramon and Will.
it is. Oh, speaking of which, man, how did I start the show like this? As I slander my own wife, too. By the way, happy birthday to both of them, man. My mother-in-law's birthday today. She's with my son on one of his visits right now. And also to my father, man, Ronald Holland. Happy birthday to both of them.
Nice.
Imagine that, marrying a girl whose birthday is the same day as your father's, which is
Love it.
kind of cool, man. So happy birthday
Fantastic.
to both of those legends. Also, and my wife's brother, Ricky, his birthday is today, too. So
Fantastic.
birthday day in the Foster Hudson family day.
There you go.
Yeah. So let's start the show, man.
Well, if we're going to declare summer over, then may I congratulate you on today being Dustin Colquitt days until football time in Tennessee, as Tennessee makes the rounds at SEC Media Days today. 615-737-1045 is our number. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Justin Hawkins, live for the 1045 The Zone Circus Sports Studio, Kentucky's largest sports book, can now be found at Circus Sports in Kentucky Downs. Spain wins the World Cup. Nashville SC gets back in the win column as well. We'll talk about both after this. Monday morning on Ramon and Will, 104.5 The Zone and Zone TV. Spain wins the World Cup and might send many of you into hibernation as soccer fans. I hope not, but if that is the case, we loved having you. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, and Justin Hawkins, 615-737-1045, our number. This one kind of went how I expected. Spain, a team that is dominant in possession. Argentina, a side that needed the ball in order to allow the best part of their team the ability to hurt Spain. And the best part of their team, obviously, is Lionel Messi just doing stuff. Well, if you can't get the ball, then, spoiler alert, Lionel Messi can never get the ball.
No.
That's what happened yesterday.
It was. After you and Lucas hit me to how Spain plays soccer and, what's their strong suit. Like, they are the epitome of defense wins championships. Like, it was solely just that. I feel like they pestered the Argentinian players throughout the entire matchup. There wasn't much room for breathing at all with them. The way they were able to just get the ball back, go down to the opposite end on Argentina's and just take shots. That's when you knew, honestly, in my personal opinion, just watching the flow of the game. Spain, it felt like, could take the ball and at least get shots at the goal. By the way, Argentina's goalie, Martinez, elite.
I mean, Martinez is very good.
He was
very good.
Everything that you could have asked him to do in a game like that, he did. The bounce back ball that went in extra time was just one of those bend but don't break. And he finally broke moments right there. Collectively, they tried to play good defense, but Spain, to me, they were attacking offensively and defensively. As you said, they could slow walk. I felt like when they had possession of the ball, they just played around with it more than Argentina did. Argentina seemed like they couldn't keep the ball, couldn't keep the defenders of Spain away from them, and it forced them to, in football terms, turn it over. And Spain attacked. It was a really good game, but at the same point, you just constantly felt the pressure of what Spain was able to do each and every possession.
Spain was just very tactically sound. I mean, the way that they were passing the ball, the way that their touches, their first touch, their second touch, everything was just so much better than Argentina yesterday. And for the goal to happen, in the 16th minute of extra time, it was more of like a when was the goal going to happen, not if it was going to happen. For Argentina, you didn't even know if they were ever going to score, and obviously they did not. And their push late in the second half of that extra time, it was just way too little too late.
Argentina's first shot of any time or of any kind came in the 115th minute of this game.
And was it close of that close of a shot? Like the goalie pretty much lined it up to stop it. It wasn't even it wasn't even a detailed attack. It was just here's an opportunity, so take it.
You're not going to pick apart Spain.
No. Historically, this is the way they've always played soccer. Has this changed?
Yep, this is them.
I don't understand why they have one more than whoever's breaking them down. I can't understand who's breaking them down.
They play this way at every level. Most of their teams in their league play this way in La Liga.
Yeah.
It is a fun to watch, fancy, skillful, really cutthroat way of playing the sport. They just don't really make very many mistakes.
No.
And this team is on a historic run right now. They are unbeaten now in 38 straight games. This is one of the all-time dominant defensive World Cup finals that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
We have ever seen. By the end of the game, Spain had 20 shots compared to 2 by Argentina, with 12 on target and none by Argentina. Honestly, the weak spot for me in the Spanish team, too, was their goalkeeper. And Unai Simon, who made a couple of mistakes in this tournament. He still, I believe, only gave up, was it 2 goals in the entire tournament?
2 goals.
This is crazy.
But he was never tested. Literally, he went through this entire tournament without ever really making too many massive saves. Because for me, the better goalkeeper for Spain was actually their backup. David Raya is the better goalkeeper.
Okay.
3-time Golden Glove winner in England with Arsenal. He's a champion of Arsenal. For me, he's the better goalkeeper, but you could never even knew because Unai Simon never had to do anything, and he did not make a single save. And now lifts a World Cup championship.
That's insane to me as a starter. And that was what's super unique too. Watching them play, you say like it's their style and how they play. They know when to be aggressive. They know like they are always attacking. Speaking of like what will you do for your country? Did you see on Messi's shot he attempted the ball that one of the defenders took to the face?
Mikel Merino, another Arsenal player.
Arsenal player too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he took one to the face where I would have came out. I'd have probably had a couple of tears behind that one because it was all frontal face and nose, and I know the impact of that ball. Like he's probably got a concussion. Messi, I don't know if he was trying to kick the way he did.
He wasn't trying to kick it with the face. He was trying to kick it in the net.
Listen,
He was just in the way.
he was in the way.
It happens.
I know, but like.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, seeing his face turn sideways, like that was one of those moments like, okay, that wasn't a soft soccer moment. He deserves to be on the ground for a little while. Yeah,
it happens.
That was
Messi's
insane.
cross a little bit later on that was not intended to be a shot, but ended up being right over the top of the post.
7 clean sheets for Unai Simone, new men's World Cup record. I believe it was just 1 goal allowed, actually, not 2, in the whole World Cup.
What a time. So, did they set this up? One, how do you set up a World Cup team is what I'm asking. Like, do they go into it knowing that Sinai was going to be weak?
Very loaded question.
So they went into it with better defenders, more athletes?
they think he's the starter, even though I don't.
Okay.
I kind of got in the weeds on something that's really not that significant, but he is a still really good goalkeeper in Spain. Yeah, Spain has a bunch of players that can play that style, and I thought that Kubarsi, their center back, who is another teenager who plays for Barcelona, was tremendous at the back for them. I thought that their midfield with a bunch of moving parts, whether that was Pedri, whether that was Fabian Ruiz, whether that was Mikel Merino, who kept coming off the bench. I thought they were all terrific. The 2 fullbacks, Marc Cucurella and Pedro Porro, really good at retaining possession and winning second balls and winning direct aerial duels on long passes over the top. I mean, they stopped every kind of team within this World Cup. They stopped the team that wanted possession and wanted to play through them. They really defended with attack. Yeah. That was the best way to describe it. And they did a really, really good job of making sure that they kept the ball and didn't turn it over in dangerous areas to allow teams to get counterattacks and immediately score. Because having possession doesn't necessarily mean that you are good.
Right.
Nashville SC just played a team in Atlanta United who's got 10th most possession per 90 minutes, yet they have the worst goal-scoring record of any team in Major League Soccer. Atlanta is the only team in MLS who scored less than 15 goals this year, yet they have the 10th most possession per 90. You can have the ball and do nothing with it. Spain forces you to chase them for 90 minutes, and it takes more energy to play defense in this sport than it does to play offense. And the second you relax a little bit, and the second you feel like they're just passing it sideways and not doing anything with it,
done.
They break.
Done.
And they find their way. And 1 ball over the top, header back from Nico Williams. There's Ferran Torres, beautiful finish over Emi Martinez, and that was all they needed. Yeah. It is the soccer country right now in this world.
Spain.
They are the soccer country, men and women. Their women are the best competition to us because in women's soccer, we are the juggernaut team. Yeah. They're the team that's won the most World Cups. They're the next best. They play the same style in women's soccer as well. Right. It's fun to watch. It's skillful. It's technical. And it's about the team. They have a superstar named Lamine Yamal. But he was not that great at this tournament.
No.
He's coming back from a hamstring injury. He was not close to his full fitness level in this entire tournament. The team is the story when it comes to Spain. And for me, Rodri, their midfielder, was a better player than Lamine Yamal was in this tournament. And my goodness, they made that look so easy. And even still, I know it went so late in extra time. Argentina was never scoring without Spain basically handing it to them on a silver platter.
It's just kind of what it felt like. It felt like they had...
It was inevitable.
I played against a couple of teams like that. Just correlated to football is 2 defenses that come to mind that I played against in that era. That was, and of course, it was one of those Patriots teams while playing in New England where you felt like they had full home field advantage. There was nothing you can do. But the 2015 Denver Broncos, who I looked it up, they finished 4th overall and overall defense, just how opportunistic they were, just the way they played you, the way they blitzed you, the way they were to get after the rusher, get after the passer, was one of those teams. And I always give credit, too, to the 2017 Jacksonville Jaguars when they had Ramsey, Calais, just everybody across the board who were in their prime at that point in time. Those two defenses come to mind on how teams are able to just attack, keep going at you, and keep fighting you every single possession. There was no breathing room whatsoever on those teams. The Tom Brady's Patriots teams, I felt like as a whole, had that feeling.
Yeah, Spain, very much a Tom Brady Patriots kind of vibe here.
Just take the opportunities given to you with how they attack you.
Right. Fun enough to watch on offense, but they're going to convert every 3rd and 3 by 2 yards, and they just go on a death march of just you can't score because you can't have the ball. And when you need to convert and when you need to make a play, they don't turn it over. They don't make any silly mistakes. They don't have crazy penalties. They just
clean.
They just destroy you and they suffocate you. Yeah. That's what Spain did to Argentina. They suffocated them.
That's exactly what it was. And you saw, of course, Messi attempting to make something happen, but it just wasn't in his favor. They were able to go at him in a way that was physical, but also they knew how to pull up. Spain, to me, looked like a team that knows how to play smart defense. And I don't know how they get to that point of being edgy enough, but not being stupid. You know how some teams, I've watched them in this World Cup, they get emotional. They start pushing. Next thing you know, they're getting yellow cards and stuff like that. With Spain, they knew how to push you without being dumb. That was very fascinating to me. I also now, post-World Cup, have a better appreciation for ties. I get it. Some days
right. Some days that's just what both teams deserve.
And
like you leave a lot of football games in this country thinking we did not deserve to win today, but I'm glad we did. Well, ties are to take away the ability for you to win without deserving to win. And that still happens sometimes too, but sometimes neither team deserves to win, and okay, that's what you're given.
But that matchup yesterday, you felt like
someone had to win because it was the final.
They had to, but a draw wouldn't suffice in that game because in the end, you knew, like you said, it wasn't a matter of if Spain was going to score. It was simply because Argentina wasn't going to. That's the way I felt about it. Spain had to score because Argentina wasn't going to do anything in this match.
Right.
It was fun.
Especially when Enzo Fernandez had one of the dumbest second yellow cards I've ever seen watching this sport. He wasn't. It's a Chelsea thing. It's what they do. Chelsea, who I believe did lead the Premier League in red cards last year. Argentina has a very intense style about them in the way that they carry themselves between the whistles and outside them. And even the little fracas that happened at the end of the final whistle.
I didn't realize that was real.
Leonardo Paredes. Oh, yeah.
I know the big broadcast didn't show it, but I thought it was just that's fake.
That's Argentina.
No.
They push the lines, and they've had a lot of success doing it, so I'm not being critical. They push the lines, and I thought Spain handled their emotions really well and didn't get caught up in that. But Enzo Fernandez on a yellow card in stoppage time of the 90, essentially, just going in with 2 feet and cleaning out a Spanish player. And again, this is what we talk about. This is what Spain does to you by passing the ball around, by forcing you to chase shadows. It is so frustrating having to defend a team like Spain for 90 minutes that Enzo Fernandez, a player known to have a pretty big temper, just lost it and just cleaned a guy out. And basically, instead of kicking the dog, I hope you don't kick your dogs at home, instead of kicking the fridge or kicking a box out of frustration, he kicked a Spanish player. And he was given his walking orders after that.
I thought that was fake.
I mean, truly, all things considered, it is one of the all-time dumb decisions ever made in a World Cup. Ever. To go in for that challenge.
That player, that point,
you
I
have
thought you
guys
about
behind
after
you.
the match.
No, I'm talking about Enzo Fernandez getting a red card.
Absolutely, that was stupid.
You've got 8 guys behind you. There's no imminent danger to your goal. It's a defender, from what I saw, trying to play forward. Tons of bodies behind you. There is no reason to commit that foul unless you're just mad. And he was just mad. And it, for us, as neutrals, ruined the rest of the game because then there was no threat whatsoever. What I wanted to see was if Spain had scored in, let's say, the 60th minute, how were they going to respond to the pressure that Argentina had put on every team when they were down late? because they would have never gone into their shell the way that England did, because England was cowardly in the way that it took an attacker off, put defenders on, and just sat back and said, "Please, Mr. Messi, please don't score on us. Please, we're gonna put all our guys in the box. Please don't score on us. Please, sir, I don't want you to score on us. We're just gonna sit back here. You can have the ball, but you please don't." Coward. Thomas Tuchel, the English manager. Argentina would have never, ever, ever, ever gone down like that.
Argentina just was trying to make it to penalties. That was where they.
Once they got the red cards, they don't have a choice.
Yeah.
That's where they excelled in over Spain.
That's tough. Who do you trust? Who do you guys trust in the red cards? I mean, in a penalty shot situation.
Honestly, Emi Martinez had played so well. Argentina would have had a decent shot.
They had a real good shot.
Yeah.
I wanted that.
I mean, it's a coin flip between those two teams for me.
It is. Like, I legitimately wanted the penalty shots, but at the same point in time, like, I almost felt like towards the end, just ended. Like, and I hate to say just ended for Argentina, but they couldn't get any shots. Like, their first, like, real shot on the goal didn't come until late.
1:15. Yeah.
That last 8 minutes of the game was pretty fun.
It was. And you saw what it looked like Argentina decide to turn it on. They were about to turn it on while being down one score.
It should have been a lot more fun. Yeah. Should have been a lot more fun.
If he didn't get the red card.
The third place game, though, Saturday night was 6-4. Hat trick for my guy Bukayo Saka. That game was awesome. Yeah. If anyone who's played the game FIFA, like played the video game, has played that exact game hundreds of times. So much fun.
I saw, of course, new soccer watchers like myself, just like, if this is how soccer was, we watch it all the time.
It's not. It's not. You know what the third place game was? And they said it on the broadcast. Darren Fletcher did. It was an all-star game.
It was an all-star game.
It was essentially an exhibition that counted for stats. And so, it essentially just turned into, because France had no interest in defending in that game. No interest at all.
What's crazy, though, is the amount of money that you lose going from third to fourth place as well.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
It's an insane amount of money. So champions, they split 50, I think almost close to $51 million. Second place, runner-up, Argentina, they get $33 million. Well, it's not a bad drop from third to fourth place. Third place, the team split $29 million. In fourth place, they get $27.
There you go.
$27 million for fourth place.
One thing really quickly that was very funny, following as many international soccer accounts as I do, and then scrolling over to the For You page a little bit, the rest of the world hates the concept of an American halftime show during an event like that.
I did see that.
That halftime show was awful.
I saw that.
Oh.
They say USA, you almost
waste of time.
Yeah, I saw
Waste of time. 27 minutes and 20 seconds, the halftime. It was supposed to be 17 minutes.
Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be 17 minutes?
Yeah, the rest of the world, not that we should really care, to be fair, as much of a villain as we became with the Flo Balogun red card stuff, but whew, the rest of the world did not enjoy that halftime show, and I don't really blame them.
We Americanized it. Huh?
I love Ted Lasso, but the second I saw Ted Lasso out there, like, we're going to get hammered for this.
Did you see the Goodell conversation, too, on the For You page?
No, I didn't.
It was the NFL, of course, trying to infringe upon what soccer is. Like, we're definitely going to do a consolation game in the NFL.
Oh, I did see that.
You saw that?
I thought you were talking about the halftime show.
Oh,
yeah,
no, it was the Roger Goodell.
It was like, it was the meme of the guy rubbing his hands together, and it was like, Roger Goodell learning you can make money having third place play fourth place. Yeah. Imagine last year. So that would have been the Rams.
And who on the AFC
and the Broncos.
Side? Rams
and the Broncos playing in a neutral site in a third place game. Honestly, I'd still watch that before I watch. Nope. Wait for it. Wait, let me finish.
Okay.
I'd still watch that before I watch the Pro Bowl. 615-737-1045. Honestly, make that the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Give a little cash prize for the winning team.
And just have games for the Pro Bowl.
Or
come on,
a compensatory pick for the winning team.
Don't you dare start
compensatory pick and a $2 million prize pool.
Do we need to call?
I'm just saying.
Do we need to call Roger?
If y'all could get grass in some of these dome stadiums in return, all of a sudden, third place game doesn't sound that bad, does it? Coming up, Nashville SC picks up a win over Atlanta United. We'll tell you about it next.
When you start noticing cracks in the walls, uneven floors, or driveway sinking and separating, it's more than a home issue, y'all. It's a peace of mind issue. That's why who you choose for foundation repair and concrete leveling, it really matters. I trust United Structural System because they've been doing it the right way since 1994, right here in Tennessee. USS, they don't believe in quick fixes or scare tactics. They take the time to inspect, explain what is happening, and walk you through real proven solutions that are built to last. Whether your homes need a foundation stabilization, crawl space repair, or concrete leveling for sinking sidewalks, patios, or driveways, USS uses engineered systems designed for long-term performance, not those temporary patches. And right now, USS is offering several different options for you to help you pay for your leveling as well, where you can get a 10% discount when you pay in full, or fix it now and pay later, 18 months, no interest, no payments whatsoever, or choose a 36 months, no interest with low payments option for qualified buyers. They are very trustworthy. They are very dependable. They're USS. So give them a call or head over to USSTN.com.
Ramon and Will at 104.5 The Zone, wrapping up hour number 1 on Twitter at Ramon and Will. We have put it to a poll. Ramon Foster. What if the NFL replaced the Pro Bowl with a third-place game between the conference championship game losers? Winner gets a compensatory draft pick. Who says no? Your options are, I like it, and y'all are crazy. 63% of you think we're crazy.
You know this is going to be a negotiation tactic.
Again, if y'all want grass in stadiums, which we do.
Meaning
the players do. I'm not putting myself in that, but
yeah.
Even though
no, you should. It's comfortable for us to walk it now.
I've not played the 11 years that you have, so I don't know the difference quite as much. But
there's a difference.
Our friend Austin Stanley of A to Z Sports says a great point too. What about a last place game? Winner gets the number 1 draft pick.
Wow,
I'd watch the heck out of that.
You know what? Also, with that is TV rights, and that's how players also get paid out. So there's another check going into the offseason that's available to that. You don't just play playoff games for free. So there's a money incentive in this. There's a draft pick incentive in this. I mean, if we just go ahead and get rid of the preseason games, which eventually they might try to anyway.
Preseason games? Pro Bowl games?
No, preseason as well. You might as well just start 20-game season. No, listen.
I'd rather watch a third-place game or a last-place game than guys playing dodgeball.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Oh, long tee
Especially when you invite Shedeur Sanders for being one of the worst quarterbacks in the league last year.
Gosh, they're just handing out Pro Bowls. I wish this would have been the era I was in. I'd have dodgeballed the heck out of that event.
Nashville SC won, Atlanta United nothing for the first time in the history of this rivalry. A season sweep for someone between Nashville SC or Atlanta United. No team had ever won both MLS regular season matchups in this series until Saturday. And it wasn't pretty, but it was beautiful, Ramon. NSC gets a goal from Shaq Muhammad in the 78th minute. And the boys in gold are now unbeaten in 9 in MLS play. They've not lost since the first weekend in April in MLS play. NSC is outscoring opponents 24-9 at Geodis Park. They are still the only team unbeaten at home in MLS. They have won 4 matches in a row in MLS play for the third time in club history, as they will now go for a 5-game win streak on Wednesday night when they host Montreal. And yes, you can be there. It's also dollar hot dog night at Geodis Park this upcoming Wednesday night.
Cool.
And they got some players back. Eddie Taxith made his first appearance since injuring his lower body on April 28th against Tigres. Sam Surridge started his first MLS game since that game the first week in April against Chicago. I believe it was April 4th. For Sam, no, it was a couple other things.
Oh, a couple other things. Okay.
But Nashville SC and Atlanta showed a little bit of rust in this. As I said on the broadcast a couple times, championship teams find a way when it's not their best night.
Yeah.
And it wasn't Nashville's best night. Things weren't quite as crisp. The weather conditions made the field a little bit sloppy, and with all the rain and torrential downpour we got right before, I don't think you can blame anybody for that. It was just kind of the fact of the conditions that both teams had to play with, and I thought Nashville did a better job in finding a way. Brian Schwacke's huge save on Luke Brennan about halfway through the second half kept it level. And if he doesn't make that save, you don't know how much Atlanta just goes and sits back and just parks the bus and throws away the key. So you got this win from your back line, from your goalkeeper, the 7th shutout for Brian Schwacke, second most in MLS this year, and Shaq Muhammad, who now has 2 career MLS goals, both of them this season against Atlanta.
Wow. Good stuff.
The hero.
Man. It was fun watching, like you said, the slippage you could tell the rust was there. Also, like you said, the slippage of the field conditions, they didn't let them bother them as much. What I noticed when you talk about how rusty it was just ball control. Being able to pass cleanly wasn't there. You can tell when they were on breaks, Nashville SC, as far as being able to have a little bit of momentum, they missed, I guess, connecting from one kick to the other as I try to explain soccer. But it was just misfires is what it was, man. So, like you said, good teams find ways to win even when they're bad. And it was kind of fun to watch them and that crowd go bananas behind that in the 78th minute.
Wasn't super crisp, but it's not going to always be very crisp and clean. And if you're a new fan who was tuning in Friday night or you went to the game, it's not always like that, is the best thing that I could tell you.
Let me ask you this.
Now, what
real
is always
quick.
like that is usually we end up winning. So that part of it is actually what it's always like. But give them a little bit of time to get back in the swing of things.
Them being on a primetime game on Fox, is this normal? This a product of them winning as much?
A little bit of both, but yeah, that was a marquee rivalry and one of two games in the return from the World Cup that the league wanted to showcase. You had Atlanta, Nashville, and you had LA versus LA
Okay.
in the same night, doubleheader.
Galaxy versus
Two
Club.
standalone games. Yep, LAFC versus LA Galaxy. And Atlanta has been a really good team. They won 2018 MLS Cup. Yeah. They have a great fan base. They've got a ton of following, not only in Atlanta, but just in the South, as they were one of the first really successful Southern teams in this league. And ever since Nashville's been in the league, we've been a step above them, and we've been better. And so it's been a really fun rivalry to watch. It's not maybe as hotly contested on the field between the players, A, as much as it used to be, B, as much as maybe some other rivals that Nashville has. Philadelphia, Miami, Cincinnati at times, New York City FC at times have been more intense rivalries. This one's just kind of regional. The fan bases aren't as hostile toward each other, but it is a game that you know is going to fill up Geodis Park or fill up Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which we don't have to call Atlanta Stadium anymore, and deliver. And it delivered. Yeah.
Good.
It was a good finish.
It was real good.
Coming up, 615-737-1045, open for your phone calls. Headline that happened right as you guys were going off air on Friday. Chris Johnson is headed into the Titans Ring of Honor. We'll give you the details coming up next.
Have you heard that a lot of corporate-owned chain jewelry stores are shutting their doors? So many smart shoppers have figured out that cookie-cutter jewelry is boring and mediocre service is unacceptable. That's why Genesis Diamonds is having record success. Genesis, number one, they're locally owned, staffed by real experts with warranties and guarantees that are unheard of, with personal attention to you, the buyer, with also case after case of unique fashion-forward designer jewelry with no attitude, no pushy salespeople, no inflated pricing games at all. Genesis not only guarantees the best price, but their quality is second to none. The world's top bridal designers have chosen Genesis as an authorized retailer because they meet the highest standards. Whether you are looking for a classic ring or ultra modern ring, a natural diamond or a lab-grown diamond, Genesis has options for you at every price point. And you will love the laid-back fun experience as well. It is a far from a Wall Street corporate box store as you can get. Genesis Diamonds, they're located in Green Hills and Cool Springs, and also do not miss their amazing selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches.
7:02. Good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawk in Spain. They're back atop the soccer world after beating Argentina 1-0 in the 2026 World Cup final yesterday at MetLife Stadium. Spain wins their second World Cup in their history and first since 2010. Ferran Torres subbed in on the 62nd minute and then scored in the 16th minute of extra time to lift Spain over Lionel Messi and Argentina. Spain's shutout yesterday was their 7th of the tournament, which is the most in World Cup history. On Saturday, England beat France 6-4 in a dramatic match to win third place in the World Cup. England forward Bukayo Saka tallied a hat-trick in France forward. Kylian Mbappe scored twice, winning the Golden Boot of the World Cup with 10 goals. And the British Open over the weekend, 39-year-old New Zealander Ryan Fox birdied the final hole to win the Open at 10 under on the weekend and taking home a $3.2 million check. It's Fox's first major championship win in his career. Coming up today, SEC Media Day kicks off in Tampa Bay. Josh Heupel and the Vols speak this afternoon. The player attendees to represent the Vols are running back Deshaun Bishop and linebackers Arian Carter and Jeremiah Thielander. Oklahoma, Missouri, and Kentucky also will speak today. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Bringing news at once and your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go to hour number 2 on this Monday morning. Hope you had a great weekend. Welcome in. You've come to the right place on Ramon and Will. He is the 11-year NFL veteran and Titans radio analyst, Ramon Foster. Justin Hawkins makes the show happen. My name is Will Bowling. Glad to be back with you and glad to be able to speak. My goodness. The amount of remedies, tea, honey, emergency that I have been through in the last 72 hours, I'm glad to be back sitting in the studio again.
Sir.
And no, Buck, I'm not contagious. I'm not going to get you sick. I'm all good.
I'm glad to have you back. Rhett was awesome, by the way. Absolutely love him,
Always
brother,
is.
man. He was really good with us on, Wednesday and Friday. So I'm appreciative of him, too.
Very thankful for his ability to step in. And I know he is very busy and has got a lot of things to do to get ready for the season. So very grateful for Rhett Bryant.
What's cold, though, is this. Before Rhett came in, because on Wednesday, you hit us, and Rhett was up and was able to respond and got here. I ain't gonna lie to you. Me opening up the show is, I just don't have the formula.
Did you have to?
I did.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It was fine. Rhett was in within 2 or 3 minutes or whatever. But
yeah, because the text I sent was literally in the morning.
I appreciate that chair over there that you sit in, just like the show host and what I do on this side. And a part of me is just the player side of me is also like, I need to push the envelope to get better and do more things. But I realized hey, that is a difficult task of opening, closing the show, keeping it on the road and stuff like that, keeping it on the rails.
Nah, I don't know about that.
You sounded like a natural, though.
Hey, don't lie to my face, Hawk, not behind the glass over there, okay? I was fine. I opened it up just fine, but you have a hole open. You already know where you're going with it and everything. Anybody that's in that chair,
Glad it sounds like it.
No.
Just make it up as I go.
There's some broadcast student right now that's listens he just goes as he wants to. No, it's more difficult than you make it seem right there.
Well, I appreciate that.
I appreciate
Very
you,
kind.
dog. Look at me just giving out pleasantries and everything before the season kicks off. We're going to be in angry mode at some point.
Not
you and I.
No,
Not you and I.
We don't really. That didn't really happen.
We open up that season opener. You feel me? It's going to be go mode.
Ready to go.
I need to see you bounce around the studio is what I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Ready
come
to
on.
go.
We're back.
We are so back.
Rookies report this week. In 8 days, we'll be hearing an introductory press conference, and then we'll be watching practice here in about a week and a half.
Locked in.
We're absolutely locked in. It's here.
And my wife has these little mini fans around as well.
Oh.
So we have to sweat our butts off on top of the building and stuff.
I am a large fan of that.
Yeah, same. We will be having those.
Mini fans and mini vans.
Both of them. Do you hear me? We will enjoy this, but I'm so looking forward to it, though, as well. But, again, welcome back. Hopefully your voice gets back to normal soon. A summer cold is probably the worst cold as well.
I've never had one in my life until this past week. And then my voice just, truly without speaking in about an hour and a half, just poof, it's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
At least you just lost the voice and not the explosive diarrhea going around.
No, I did not have the Taco Bell disease.
Yeah.
Did not, which I don't know what's it called again? Cyclo something?
Yeah, Cyclo
Yes.
something.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly. At least you don't have that. No,
I did not
Taco
have
Bell.
that. No. Did not have the explosive lettuce disease.
But did you see also the exposure of it too? It
But what do you
shows
mean?
that like the expensive grocery stores have the same lettuce as like Walmart.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what it exposed.
Well, I just don't buy lettuce. So.
Same brand.
Rule of thumb: just wash your fruits and vegetables.
That's it.
Just wash them.
That's more than anything.
That should be a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, like we got
be
this
shocked.
veggie spray and fruit spray. Just start washing.
Baking
your-
soda it and
Yeah.
dude.
Start
In
washing your
my-
stuff.
Adult life, I have not bought lettuce a single time.
I didn't need to know that, Will.
Not like fresh lettuce.
I want to
No.
feel better about
What do you
it.
mean? I can get a bagged salad. I'm still going to eat lettuce.
What if you made a burger and you wanted lettuce on your
I've
burger?
never made a burger in my life. I will get on my favorite delivery
What if you made
platform
tacos and you
and get a
wanted some
burger
shredded
delivered.
lettuce?
I don't want shredded lettuce in my tacos.
Wow.
It's just a waste of space.
We didn't need to know that, man.
Yeah.
Nice crispiness.
I mean, if
of
I'm
lettuce.
somewhere and I can
Wow.
get it on there, maybe. But no, a taco. I do street tacos
Okay.
at home, where you put the tortilla down and you melt the cheese first, and then you add either I do ground beef or I do chopped up chicken thighs with my own taco seasoning, and then pico. That's all
That's
you need
it?
on a street
that's
taco
it?
for me.
No cilantro, no red onions.
Cilantro, but that's in pico.
Okay.
Cilantro, red
That's
onion
true.
are in
I need
pico.
extra.
Pico is an all-encompassing piece of a taco. So really, by using pico, I have tomato, onion, cilantro, a little bit of lime juice,
Okay.
salt, pepper. And then I add a little bit of lime, sometimes do a
ball.
squirt of lime on it.
Okay, you know ball.
Yeah, so lettuce just takes up space. Because I've usually just packed it with so much protein that it's already falling apart.
Look at him with bragging camp over here.
I just
with all
like the little bit of
protein and
crispiness.
hell.
Oh, well, that's not bragging. It's just, I like protein.
I kid. That's fascinating. Well, I'm gonna get you a head of lettuce, man, and a cabbage.
No, I knew this day would come, that one day lettuce would turn on the people. So I just had never bought it.
Just show up tomorrow with a head of lettuce.
Like I eat somewhat healthy, not like maybe
You do.
super healthy, but I'm also not like totally unhealthy.
Yeah.
That's just one thing. I'll find other ways to eat it.
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'll do a bagged salad all the time. That's my favorite thing to do. Just get like a protein, marinate it, put it on the grill, and then throw a bagged salad together in a bowl and mix it all together.
Okay.
That's great. I just don't buy, I've never bought like fresh lettuce before.
Wild.
But I can see it. I get it.
Now, I'm not going to start now. That's for dang sure.
I love that you just like, y'all lost me. You didn't get me by 15 years
Big
old.
lettuce is never getting
We're
me back.
Done.
He didn't have me to begin with, but big lettuce is
crazy.
never getting me back.
Crazy. Well,
you know what? You know what we should do?
What?
Let us move on to some sports. How about that?
Yay.
How about that? Chris Johnson heading into the Titans Ring of Honor. Ramon, a great move made by the organization. I know that came out right as y'all were going off air Friday.
Yeah, I did, man. Big time news right there, man. One of the pillars of this franchise, especially in the new Titan era for sure, what he did in the league. I mean, CJ2K is not just a name that was given out for no particular reason. This man is one of the most prestigious running backs in this league and also for this franchise and what it means for this city, this team, its fans. A tip of the cap to him, man, for what this means, but also to the Titans as well. And I know the circumstances of which it's announced is unique, but again, you always want to give people their flowers no matter when they are so they can receive them and appreciate them as well, man. So congratulations to him. Big time accomplishment to be one of the best to be in this stadium and the one after New Nissan forever. That's the uniqueness of it. It's not just hey, this is a part of Nissan Stadium, just Titans. Like, no, this is Titans history forever and ever and ever. So congratulations to him and his family and to the Titans.
Definitely. For you, having played in this league, obviously, for over a decade, what does the Ring of Honor mean in the NFL?
I'll be honest with you. That is something that is hard to get from a franchise, but I aspire for that one as well in some type of capacity. Like, it means for the people that watch you, if you never won a Super Bowl, if you never made a big-time accolade, the representation of what you meant to your franchise is appreciated. Like, Hall of Fame is one thing, and that's very hard, and it's the best of the best, but there's a lot of teams that have players that were super important to their history, to wins, to great feelings, to highs, to lows, and to be recognized by this franchise or a franchise as being one of those guys, because those aren't just handed out like you're playing, like you're shuffling and passing out Uno cards. Like you had to have a very important moment and moments to get in that Ring of Honor. I go when I was playing. It's one of those things where you look around certain stadiums like Soldier Field, which will be no longer at one point in time, or you go out to the Raiders or Cowboys and you see those names up in there. And it's not just the Hall of Famers. It's two guys that are important to the people in the cities that they played in. And I don't want to make it seem like this is more important than a Hall of Fame, the gold jacket. But to the people that saw Chris Johnson, that might not see him in the Hall of Fame, this gives the same amount of feels, Will. Like it is to me it's the most important, I think, award you can get as a player from a franchise, period. Like, and I mean that wholeheartedly.
Sure. Well, I think you look at the Ring of Honor recipients in Titans history and when many of them have been inducted. This has been a priority for Amy Adams Strunk in her time as the controlling owner of the team. And you look at Jeff Fisher, inducted in November of 2021, Bum Phillips, September of 2021, Floyd Reese in November of 2021, Billy White Shoes Johnson inducted in 2023, Mike Keith inducted this past season on September 1st in 2025, and even going back a few years before that, Robert Brazil, who was with the Oilers from 75 to 84, inducted in 2018. The franchise has made it a priority outside of obviously this being along with Coach Mack's induction, unfortunately, due to tragic circumstances. The team already has started to make more of a push to induct more of its recent past and recent history into the Ring of Honor. And I think that's something that a lot of Titans fans would love to see continue into the new building as well. When you talk about guys like Bully and Keith Bullock, who are not only a part of this franchise's history, a part of some of the best teams in this franchise's history, but also are synonymous with being a Titan.
Right.
And I think Chris Johnson is someone that you hate the circumstances that surround him, his health, ALS, and the fight that he is in the middle of right now. Right. But you look at him within the same way and say that Chris Johnson is synonymous with being a Titan.
No doubt.
And I think there are a number of guys who that pertains to, that you hope get that shine and you hope get that opportunity in a continued effort as you move into a new building to also honor where you came from. I think that's something that's important that the franchise is already doing, that it's important, obviously, that they continue to do.
I think is super cool. And here's the other part, though, too. I've heard and kind of seen the discourse a little bit in the around the when, the why. In this situation, Mike's, Coach Mack, and whoever else is, going into a ring. I don't know what's the appropriate time of when you put people into the Ring of Honor. I think there are names that you think of guys who are important to your franchise, but it also is, when do you even do it, as far as the Ring of Honor go? For guys who are, I would say just the ones who are immediately up for Hall of Fame votes, like I can understand that one when it comes down to it. But for people who are significant to the franchise, I don't know the timeline of when you do it.
And some teams around the country and around the world have a specified criteria for what you have to do in order to get your jersey retired or be inducted. And from all the research I've done, there is not a stated words of, hey, this is what these are boxes you've got to check in order to be inducted. So it does leave it up a little bit to interpretation on the timing and the when. And at the same time, you don't want it to be a ring of very good.
Right. No, you do not.
You want it to be a ring of honor.
You do.
And Chris Johnson obviously deserves to be in the Ring of Honor. We're not diminishing that at all. But yeah, I think you bring up a good point. And I've seen some of that as well on social media, that it's a challenging thing to do, I imagine, when you are trying to weigh so many different things you have to do at halftime of games, because, again, you've got to have enough games during the season in order to have time to induct someone. I think the circumstances around this and obviously the tragic nature of what Chris Johnson is facing, all of that says to me, credit to the organization for moving as quickly as they did here, because that was the immediate reaction we got the day this was public on Good Morning America, hey, he's got to go in the Ring of Honor. Do this while he can be there for it and his family can benefit and celebrate with him there. And I'll give credit to the organization for moving really quickly to make sure that they announce that and that can happen this September.
I will, to add to it as well, I see a comment in our YouTube chat. You can check it out. You can check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. But it says, I can see Byard going into the Ring of Honor. So let's start with him, right? Or just real quick, like, when does a Kevin Byard go in? One, he's played for three franchises since leaving the Titans, but you know his importance to the Titans. So when Byard's done, what's his timeline of putting him in, and what significance does it mean if he's also played for franchises after the Titans as well? Like, when do you bring him back in? When does Jarrell Casey, the more recent, right? When does Jarrell goes in if he's going in? You know?
For me,
like,
Keith Bullock is first in line.
No doubt. Bully and Curse.
Mm-hmm.
Those two, most definitely.
Agreed.
Bully
Javon
and
Curse still has the rookie record for sacks in an NFL season, 14.5.
But then you also look at another situation too. Blaine's a 3-time Pro Bowl.
Blaine Bishop
Pro.
absolutely has a case.
So when do you put them in? Like, and you want the team to be in a good space, but also you don't want to overlook or wait too long for those guys' accolades to kind of just go to the wayside. So I don't know when is the moment that you go get them. Like, I would say this too. I think there are situations in which championship teams make it easier to put guys in from eras.
For sure.
If that makes sense as well. Like, if this team had won the Super Bowl in 07, 08, that group would probably have, 3-4 guys that's in the Ring of Honor right then. So when, I don't know the timeline, and I don't know if there's a criteria. I've seen some franchises have a criteria for it, like 5 years post playing this many games.
That's typically the rule of thumb is 3 to 5 years after you're done.
Yeah.
Is after you retire from playing, not just leave that organization.
Right.
Are you inducted into a Ring of Honor?
For sure. But the ones who are in, I mean, you see the accolades behind what they are and the longevity of it as well. I mean, looking at Munch, Hall of Famer. I mean, look at Matthews, Hall of Fame. You look at Warren Moon, like, you see the whys in those situations.
And two, I mean, typically teams induct 2 to 3 max per season into a Ring of Honor?
Yeah. So,
it is trickier than just this player was good, throw him in there. There is a process to all of these things, and you do want it to be a Ring of Honor. And that being said, if I were picking someone else to go into this that is already kind of in line, I think you're 100% right. It's Keith Bullock and it's Javon Curse.
Yeah.
Would be the next two.
Soon after Blaine. Like legitimately.
And Jarrell Casey, I would say another one. I mean, Delaney Walker is someone who I think is in that conversation as maybe the best free agent acquisition this franchise has ever made since moving to Tennessee.
But then you mentioned all those names, and that's 4 or 5 years of timeline it's going to take to get those fellas in as well. Yep. If you want to do it to be a very prestigious award, which it is.
September 13th, when Chris Johnson will join the Tennessee Titans Ring of Honor for the season opener against the New York Jets. Great move by the organization, and all positive thoughts and feelings on that. That is absolutely the right thing to do. Absolutely the right thing to do. Coming up, SEC Media Days are here. What do you hope to hear from the Tennessee contingent today? We'll talk about that next. What's going on? It's Will Bowling. Are you dealing with flickering lights, faulty outlets, or a circuit that won't stay on at home? Lead Company has your back. Lead Company's award-winning team of electricians handle it all, from routine repairs and fixture upgrades to whole home generators. Available 24/7, keep your home efficient and safe by contacting Lead Company online at leadcompany.com. That's leecompany.com for professional electrical service from the company that has over 80 years of experience serving Middle Tennessee. Maybe you're like me, and when you try to get things done around the house, you end up just making things worse. You need to call that person that can come in and get the job done right the first time, whether it's your HVAC, your plumbing, your electrical systems. Lee Company, well, those are the people for me, and they should be for you as well. Available 24/7, trusted since 1944 in Middle Tennessee. Head online to leecompany.com. That's Lee Company, all you need. Hour number 2 on Ramon and Will. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling. Talking season here in Tampa this week. SEC Media Days officially getting started. Already seeing some quotes from Eli Drinkwitz, who's already making headlines saying that SEC coaches already regret the 9-game schedule. So he doesn't need to get warmed up. He is already throwing his fastball up at his highest velocity to start the day.
Listen, get going, man.
He's more known for that than he is wins in the actual season.
Or his costumes from time to time.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Halloween.
Exactly right.
Always going to show up for that.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And he's not even really that bad of a coach, but still, he's a big talker.
Have a good quarterback.
What do you hope to hear? What are you interested in learning from Tennessee's contingent today, Ramon?
Just how they will end up finding ways to hide Chaz Coleman's departure. I think that, to me, I don't think there will be an answer as to why he got the medical relief that he did when it comes to them releasing him out of his contract. I just want to know if anybody thinks of this and not try to go to the controversial questions of why you guys keep losing players in the spring. Just figure out, what is the defensive plan? Who's going to step up in those roles? Tennessee, you have a good side of the ball, maybe the last two levels of your defense. So how will you find ways to get a rush in this 9-game series that the Vols have to play now in the SEC?
How much will the Chaz Coleman stuff really be, in your mind, a distraction for this team? Or was it? Because it's kind of over now.
I think it was a distraction. I feel like if they hit a tight point in the season, if they are having a defensive skid as far as being able to get after the quarterback, stop the run or something like that, the conversation will come up, well, hey, you need an extra body. Of course, if injuries happen, Chaz Coleman's name will come up until, hey, the Vols mismanaged this situation again because they don't have enough fresh bodies. And he was one of those guys that ended up leaving. As far as the team is concerned, guys move on quickly. You've seen it in this league. Players get cut, guys move on all the time. I don't think it'll affect the team much at all. I just think the public conversation will end up being, if they had Chaz Coleman, they will be in a better position.
Maybe.
Through injuries.
Maybe.
You got to find a reason to blame. And I think that's one of those reasons, if it does go bad, you missed on a potential 5-star transfer.
I'll be honest, I wasn't even thinking about Chaz Coleman, but you are right. I'm sure that question will be asked.
Yeah.
I've moved on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm done over. It never happened. We can be honest.
He never put on a jersey?
It never happened. He never did spring or anything. But it was, of course, in the transfer portal timing of the offseason, this was a big get for the Vols. And I feel like that type of conversation drums up again with the management of staffs and what are you trying to do to get over the hump as you lost a former 5-star in Jordan Ross to LSU. You see what they're doing and other places are doing. Somebody I feel like is going to ask that question. I kind of want to see what Heupel and his crew kind of say about it, especially with Jeremiah Thielander and Arian Carter being down there. How do they, as defensive captains, respond to that type of question if they've been prepped for it?
Can we learn anything about the quarterback battle today?
No.
See, I think we can a little bit.
You think he'll sneak something in?
No, I don't think Josh Heupel's going to tell us anything. I'm not talking about Heupel.
Okay.
I'm interested in hearing how Arian Carter, Jeremiah Thielander, and Deshaun Bishop talk about the two guys in the quarterback battle, George McIntyre and Faison Brandon. I think you can learn a little bit in the way that guys' teammates talk about them.
Yeah.
And what I think of last year is when Miles Kitselman went on 3HL. Again, tune in, 3 to 6. 3HL will be locked in from Tampa. They'll have you covered on all things SEC Media Days. I remember when Miles Kitselman said, I've known Joey Aguilar for a couple weeks, and he'd already gotten an invite to my wedding.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And just the way they talked about how quickly he ingratiated himself into that locker room and made himself a Vol like that after all the Nico stuff. And you could tell that the Nico sideshow wasn't going to be a major problem for that team last year because of the way that they policed themselves within the locker room and took ownership of the cards that they were dealt. A guy didn't want to be there, and the locker room moved on. And I think I kind of was a little bit more at ease last year around SEC Media Days of like, all right, I like where this locker room's at. I like where the leadership is with a guy like Miles Kitselman who doesn't want hostages.
Right.
They want volunteers. Both literally and figuratively. It's not maybe going to tell us who the starter is going to be. And heck, I mean, you could have glowing reviews in July about one or the other, and they're going to say nice things about both of them. And still, one of them could go out and throw 4 picks in the first scrimmage, and that could be that. The other one's going to win the job. But I am interested in hearing how all 3 of these players talk about their 2 teammates who are in the middle of a very big competition right now. I think we could learn a little bit.
Yeah.
Not from Josh Heupel, but from Deshaun Bishop, Arion Carter, and Jeremiah Telander.
You mentioned that Miles Kitselman last year speaking on behalf of the offense. It's just kind of how that conversation, led to Joey Aguilar. That is the one side of this team, although there's a ton of experience at the wide receiver spot right now. The running back feels settled with almost all those guys in the building, except for the young guys have played.
The whole offense feels settled beyond the quarterback position.
It does, but my only question for the offense, other than the quarterback competition, who's the leaders, though, is that part of it. So if
I think he's there. I think it's Deshaun Bishop.
It's Deshaun Bishop, most definitely, but I almost like to see that comes from a quarterback or offensive lineman, usually. And running backs being that type of guy, I get it. He's a heartbeat of it. He's most definitely, from my understanding, the hardest worker. I mean, one of the hardest, if not the hardest worker on the team in general. So he'll have a strong say-so in it. But the offensive line is somewhat young, or got guys like don't really express themselves publicly as much to push somebody else. I think David Sanders can grow into that role a little bit, but I will be interested to see what Deshaun Bishop say about the state of the offense and how this quarterback competition is going to be, I guess, pampered is the way you got to somewhat look at this one, because both of these guys are essentially freshmen with no experience. And how he responds to these questions about who he wants is going to be fascinating. Is he savvy enough to not have a Miles Kitselman moment? Deshaun Bishop.
Well, I don't think it's a matter of savvy. Like, I don't think it was a bad thing that Miles Kitselman said Joey Aguilar is invited to my wedding. Like that. It was much more cut and dry who the starter was going to be last year.
Yeah.
Right. Like this is more of an open competition. There are QB competitions where you know who you want to win it.
Yeah.
And then there are just toss the football up and go get it. Like this is totally open.
Yeah.
And I legitimately believe that's what's happening right now in Knoxville. If I was a betting man, I think Faison Brandon probably wins it because he has more time and maybe is seen as the higher ceiling prospect.
Mm-hmm.
So I would give him a slight edge at this point, but that's just based on circumstance. I still think that if George McIntyre outplays Faison Brandon in the 2 scrimmages, George McIntyre is going to start week 1.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was a matter of savvy or not savvy. I just think Miles Kitselman was honest last season and said, yeah, Joey really quickly has become a guy that I've invited to my wedding, and I've known him for a couple weeks. Like, I don't think that was him slipping up in any way.
Yeah. Right now, Pete Nakos has got sources or predictions.
Yeah, I know.
You saw that one this past weekend.
I just think anybody right
Hub
now
said don't pay attention.
No, right. And Hubs and Austin have said that for months. Like anybody right now who is telling you there's any kind of new information or new leader or second place guy is just throwing stuff at the wall.
That's
because
exactly
again, the circumstances suggest that it makes sense for Tennessee to go with the player who has a longer clock and B, might have the higher overall ceiling that you want to keep around.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, sure. Considering what spring was, I see how people can put 2 and 2 together and say, all right, well, if it's 50-50, you're going to go with Faison. That being said, it's not necessarily guaranteed to be 50-50. It is right now.
It is.
They're totally even right now. Josh Heupel has given us plenty of years of examples. Scrimmages are going to dictate who the starter is going to be.
Usually the second one.
Yeah.
This offseason, going into it, I was just like, okay, for the Vols, this is going to be a good year, and you start looking around with what else has happened in the SEC. Not getting one of those premier quarterbacks most definitely was a little bit of a dagger. I'm glad we didn't get Brendan Sorsby because we'd really be behind the 8 ball if that was the case. But just looking at what a veteran quarterback means, and I'm very pro playing your recruited players, very much so. But when they're young at quarterback, it does give you a lot of questions. I feel like the Vols this year are in a state of purgatory of what are we as a team. I feel like there's enough experience everywhere, and there's enough, like, one thing we can't say about the Vols moving forward is that Josh Heupel is not recruiting. The floor has been raised on the caliber of players you've brought in.
This is his best high school recruiting class he's ever had at Tennessee.
And
they just got there.
Just over the last couple of years, guys at spots, whether they are, veteran guys like Sam Pendleton at center, William Moy at guard, you got a high caliber left tackle. Like, guys have experience all across this board. It's just a matter of, with 9 SEC games, where do the Vols sit?
Yeah, you could have all that experience and then go 7-5 this year at the schedule.
And that's why I said it feels like we're in a purgatory of Vols football, because there is no real, like...
You're in the same tier of team. Yeah. Despite feeling like you've made progress, are you really that much closer to being a championship contender? No. And that's You've been closer, actually, in past years.
I would say that's where, if you're chancing on George McIntyre, Faison Brandon with experience, that can take you over the top, because I'm learning you can have as good as players anywhere, but, like, the quarterback drives this thing.
Tennessee has felt like a year away and one step away from Georgia, Texas, and that tier of the SEC now since the original playoff push in 22. Since Hendon Hooker, Jalen Hyatt, all those guys. Like, that was the arrival. Great. In 2022, 10 wins, being on the doorstep, Orange Bowl, that's all great. Now, being on the doorstep of championship contender doesn't satisfy the fan base. So the expectations have been reset, the goalposts have been moved, and now fans feel like, oh, wait a minute, we were on this ascent that happened so quickly. When are we going to take the next step up? And it unfortunately isn't that simple when you're trying to take the next step up into elite. So what are you this year? I don't know either, because, again, I feel like they're purgatory in terms of what is the identity of the football team. Do you have a good enough defense to be a run-the-ball defense, ball control type team? I don't know that you do. I think you have a good enough run game.
Yeah. Offensively.
But then again, the question becomes, do you have a good enough quarterback that can take advantage of the run game being good? And my big question for Tennessee this whole season, and it kind of brings in the pass rush concerns and the quarterback concerns, is what are you asking the quarterback to be? Are you asking them to go score you 31 points against Texas to have to win? If so, I think you're probably a 7-5 team.
Good luck.
But if Jim Knowles' system takes really quickly because he's brought in enough Penn State transfers and guys who already know his system that maybe he doesn't have to dumb down his system or adjust to what he's given, and do enough guys step up on the front four at edge rusher and defensive line to get after the quarterback to where he can do a lot of things at the back end, well, then maybe this defense could be good enough, because I think on paper this defense should be way better than it was last season. But again, how much can Jim Knowles really do if you don't have guys that can get after the passer and you have to send 5, 6, 7, 8 guys after the quarterback in order to get home? All of a sudden, there's only so much a defensive coordinator can really do if you can't get pressure with 4. There is not a defensive coordinator in the world that's going to have a ton of success if you don't have pass rushers that can just win one-on-one and get after the quarterback.
Or, well, a passer, when you look at where the SEC quarterback play is, we're at the bottom of experience behind LSU,
there's no doubt.
South Carolina.
Every list you're seeing put out right now has whoever Tennessee starter being as the 14th or 15th best starter in the league.
Seriously.
Just based off of lack of experience. And that's one thing now. I don't think that'll be the case at the end of the season.
Yeah.
But, major question. The fact that Tennessee is going to start a quarterback with little to no experience this year, and it still isn't even the biggest question maybe about the team, tells you that there is no identity of this football team as we sit here today. We just don't know. There is a big range of what Tennessee can be this season under Josh Heupel.
Is
really big range.
And again, the offense covers you. And it's a matter of knowing which one of these quarterbacks can take that step when given that opportunity. And that's the other, we don't know.
It feels like Tennessee could be a 5-win team or a 10-win team. Yeah. I don't think either of those are going to happen, by the way. Yeah. I don't think they're going to only win 5 games. I also really don't see them winning 10 games. But I think that's the low end and the high end of what this team could be if you check all the boxes or if you check none of them.
Just based off quarterbacks, the SEC's got what, 5 potential, maybe 6 first-round quarterbacks. Potentially.
This year or
this year?
Forever? Like
This year.
Well, let's
LSU.
see.
Yeah.
Arch Manning,
Yup.
Sam Levitt,
Yup.
Gunnar Stockton. But like,
Depending on the year.
I don't. So this is kind of my thing, though. I don't like evaluating guys just off of NFL.
I just want to do
because Gunnar Stockton's a really good college quarterback. I don't want to diminish that by saying, well, but he's not a first-round draft pick. Like, that's just because his style's not going to fit as well in the NFL. I think the question I would prefer to ask is how many guys could end up in New York at the Heisman ceremony who are quarterbacks in the SEC?
Okay,
that's a bigger number.
That's a great question.
Gunnar Stockton, Marcel Reed, the two we've already mentioned,
Levitt,
and Sam
yeah.
Levitt and Arch Manning.
Lenoris
Sellers of South Carolina, Byron Brown at Auburn. I mean, that's a list closer to like 10 guys.
No,
I'm not going to go that
Not
far.
in that offense.
Trinidad Chambliss. I mean, that's probably who we should start the list with.
There, yeah.
Whoever wins the job at Alabama, I mean, as good as Kalen DeBoer is with quarterbacks there, like, now we're starting to talk about 10 guys, legitimately.
Yeah.
615-737-1045. Open Championship came down to the wire yesterday. We'll talk about that next.
If you're looking for TRT that's flexible enough for your lifestyle, head to Low T Center, the number one name in TRT. You can choose testosterone shots, pills, or the other options they have as well. You can also pay with insurance or out of pocket and even have your treatment shipped directly to your door. And now Low T Center, they're offering new peptides, new treatments, and more where you can boost your energy, libido, and confidence for the results that you can feel. Center Jackson Low T Center, they have provided testosterone replacement therapy and hormone replacement therapy tailored to your body, your lifestyle, and most importantly, your budget. When your hormones are imbalanced, patients, they'll feel fatigue, low sex drive, mood changes, and body changes. Balancing your hormones, it means living a better, healthier life. And here's the kicker. Testosterone is not just for men. Testosterone is important for women as well. It can also increase your energy, confidence, your drive, and so much more. And no, it will not turn you into a man. Doses for women are very careful so they can help you meet your own personal goals. You can go ahead and book your free testosterone test at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
If you have a 2, 3, or 4% mortgage rate, don't refinance it. You don't have to. But you can still get cash out of your home. Introducing Loan Pronto's zero-cost equity loan. What's up? It's Will Bolding. That's right. With Loan Pronto, you can get all the cash you need without touching your first mortgage and without any fees. One local homeowner just got $100,000, paid off all their credit cards, paid off their existing HELOC, remodeled their kitchen, and saved over $1,500 per month. It gets better. There's no hard credit pull up front, usually no appraisal, and no long, drawn-out process. And listen, no closing costs. You may even be able to skip your next 2 house payments. So call Loan Pronto now, leave your low-rate mortgage intact, but get the cash you need in as little as 2 weeks without paying closing costs. Go online to loanpronto.com, see how much you can get right now at 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780 or online at loanpronto.com. For qualified homeowners, equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. Wrapping up the first half of the show this morning on Ramon and Will. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, 615-737-1045. There are some updates to the Protect College Sports Act that just broke from Pete Thamel of ESPN. We'll tell you about what is changing here in 10 minutes. So yesterday, Open Championship was awesome. Great pregame show to the World Cup final for me personally. And Ryan Fox became the champion golfer of the year in Southport at Royal Birkdale, becoming just the 5th player on the day to birdie the 18th hole, which was the longest 18th hole in the history of the Open Championship. Final round 68 for Ryan Fox, who wins his first major. He had not won on the PGA Tour until last year and conquered the elements, conquered a very difficult golf course for the guys who went out later in the day, and conquered Cam Young, who had been sitting as the clubhouse leader for 2 hours, thinking he was maybe going to have a chance in a playoff. His hopes dashed again. His wait for a major continues. But Ryan Fox, a great story, 39-year-old from New Zealand, wins the Open yesterday.
How do you end up, one, to be sitting in that holding cell watching your lead go has to be one of the most deflating things ever as a golfer.
And after a bogey on 18 that he thought needed to be a birdie to give himself a chance, because when he was getting done, he was at 10 under going on to 18, thinking, I probably got to get to 11 under in order to have a pretty good shot at winning this. And the golf course just ate up the field. If he had known, Ramon, that he only needed to be 10 under in order to win this tournament, or at least be in a playoff, he would have played the final hole very differently, and he probably doesn't bogey it.
That's tough.
That's the heartbreaking part for Cam Young.
So what do you do for if you're Cam Young at that point? Just say push it no matter what, because again, you can't overdo the course though, right?
So what happened was he hit his tee shot in a fairway bunker. You have these pot bunkers in links golf in Ireland and Scotland and the UK that have these big walls on them that force you to make a decision. Do I play conservatively to just get out? Or do I go for it and risk hitting the wall of this bunker if I don't cleanly hit the golf ball? Unfortunately, he went for it, was aggressive out of the bunker, hit the wall of the bunker, and hit a 20-yard shot. Ball goes straight right on him. Then he's got to play catch up. He makes bogey, and that was that. He still ended up at 9 under and shot a 64 on the day, but it could have been par on 18 and 10 under, which would have put him in a playoff and forced Ryan Fox to then be aggressive down the stretch. And Ryan Fox, who again birdied 18 and was one of 5 guys the entire day to birdie 18. So because of that, that's what forced Cam to lose it. But again, this was 2.5 hours before Ryan Fox was getting done, where you thought that 9 under was not going to get you, and that was with bogey. 9 or 10 under was probably not going to get you into a playoff. Course firms up, becomes difficult as the day goes. The wind starts to pick up. 10 under would have gotten him into a playoff. So that aggressiveness cost him.
Yeah.
And maybe he would have still done that either way, even if he hadn't kind of been going for it a little bit. You never know, but that was a big part of why Cam Young did not have a chance to win his first major again yesterday.
Well, second place purse, I'm sure, was still substantial. So, I mean, you lived that life, but winning it all is it. It's just hard. One of the hardest sports that you can ever play. But to sit and watch it deteriorate, though, what do? Just pick up your clubs and go to the next tournament? I mean,
it's the last major.
Yeah.
His next chance to win a major will be the Masters next year. Which does still feel weird in the way the schedule's been changed, how the major schedule is over on July 20th. I don't love that.
Why is this the date for it then?
I really don't know.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
You can already play through the heat of summer so far. Continue to play. Find different ways to kind of map your way through this, as golf courses are going to be filled up until when? October in the South, if not later, heck, for that matter.
I mean, golf courses for us mere mortals are filled 12 months out of the year. I think it's more in competition with football is why they've condensed it a little bit and getting things done before football season really starts.
I said a comment said guys were hitting from one bunker to the other into another.
No,
It's that type of course.
Links courses are so tough. A little bit less water, in some instances less trees, but more sand.
Okay.
And once you are in the sand, it is a straight wall up to get out of it.
That's ugly.
Very. Beautiful aesthetically to look at. Ugly to play.
But ugly to play.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then the long grass, too. It is a very, very difficult golf course, Royal Birkdale. So good job, Ryan Fox. Crazy birdie to end it. Scotty Scheffler, once again, couldn't make a putt outside 5 feet. Same story that we've watched countless times with Scotty. Great tournament, great weekend. Scotty Scheffler and Sam Burns were both 20 under at the 4 majors. That was the best score combined in the 4 majors of guys who made the cut at all 4. Didn't win a major out of the 2 of them at any of those tournaments. You'd be 20 under, have the best score at all 4 majors, and just be consistently great but not elite. And that's golf. So, good day for Scotty Scheffler. By his standards, he should have won this tournament because he was driving it well, he was chipping it well, he did everything but make putts outside 5 feet. And that's the difference.
Always the small things.
Coming up, a big change to the Protect College Sports Act, what you need to know, why you should care, and Spain lifts the World Cup trophy. We'll talk about both coming up next. What's up? It's Will Bowling for my friends at Fleet Feet Nashville. I have been going to see Fleet Feet Nashville since I was in high school as a distance runner before my SEC career ever began because I needed the right shoes to get out and run, to get started, to know what I'm doing, the local run clubs, the fittings you get, the gear, the inserts in the shoes. Don't forget about those as well. They have always taken great care of me, and they can take care of you as well. Here's what I want you to do. Head online to Fleet Feet Nashville, schedule an appointment to get a fitting, whether that's at Fleet Feet Brentwood, Cool Springs, Green Hills, Hendersonville, Mount Juliet. They've got stores all around Middle Tennessee. Go through the fitting process. You will be amazed about what you can learn about your foot and about the right kind of shoe and how comfortable that is. Not just the shoe, the inserts, the advice, the run clubs, the ways that they can get you involved, whether you are just trying to run a local 5K or really be competitive with this. FleetFeetNashville.com is the website. And get ready for tax-free weekend of Fleet Feet Nashville coming up next weekend. A great time to get ready for back to school. Fleet Feet Nashville is going to get you back on the road, get you comfortable in those new pair of shoes. Head online to FleetFeetNashville.com.
8:04. Good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. Spain's back atop the soccer world after beating Argentina 1-0 yesterday in the 2026 World Cup final at MetLife Stadium. Spain wins their second World Cup in their history and first since 2010. Ferran Torres subbed on in the 62nd minute and then scored in the 16th minute of extra time, lifting Spain over Argentina. Spain's shutout was their 7th of the tournament, which is the most in World Cup history. On Saturday, England beat France 6-4 in a dramatic match to win third place in the World Cup. France forward Kylian Mbappe scored twice and took home the golden boot of the World Cup with 10 goals scored. In golf over the weekend at the British Open, 39-year-old New Zealander Ryan Fox birdied the final hole to win the Open at 10 under on the weekend, taking home a $3.2 million check. It's Fox's first major championship win in his career. Today, SEC Media Days kicks off in Tampa Bay. Josh Heupel and the Vols speak this afternoon. The players' attendees to represent the Vols are running back Deshaun Bishop and linebackers Arion Carter and Jeremiah Thielander. Oklahoma, Missouri, and Kentucky also are speaking today. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Hour number 3 and second half of the show this morning. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Justin Hawkins, Ramon and Will. 615-737-1045 is the number. A little bit of news this morning from Pete Thamel of ESPN, who tells us in a thread on X the latest discussions about the Protect College Sports Act's most scrutinized section, realignment restrictions, has a new focus. The discussion centers around leagues being capped at 19 programs. The Big Ten has currently 18, and the SEC 16, for example, he says. For a league to leave a power conference to join another, they would have to play 5 years as an independent.
5 years if you leave?
For a league to leave a power conference to join another, according to the latest discussions around the Protect College Sports Act, a team would have to play 5 years as an independent. The group of 6 schools would be allowed to move up in the latest discussions. The current version of the bill was set to freeze all of the leagues making more than $700 million. And that was met with strong pushback because, how are you going to cap what I could make?
Yeah, no, that's pretty fascinating right there. 6 years as an independent is where it becomes very sticky for.
5 years as an independent.
5 years as an independent is where it becomes super sticky because you're trying to leave to go take on more money because yours may be failing and not making as much as you want to, or the prestige of it with how it's kind of set itself up a little bit. This to me is in line with where I'm at because I want college sports to have more stability. Less turning around. Like I was looking at a conference recently, one I formerly knew. Like the Conference USA isn't the Conference USA I grew up on. It's
Nothing is what we grew up on anymore.
It's not even close. Not to be disrespectful, but the Conference USA I knew was Memphis, Cincinnati, and those likes, right? I don't know what division Memphis or conference Memphis is in right now.
American.
The American.
Which is basically the old Conference USA.
I know, but I like the Conference USA name.
Well,
like,
I'm sorry.
I get it, but the American Conference now. But there's also like another name for a different conference that also has American in it as well.
And the Sun Belt is kind of a hybrid of both of them as well.
Which is
a Fun Belt.
Fun Belt. But either way, I get the shifts, but I also want at some point with all the money that's moving up and down, like college sports to get to a point to where it's more stable. Like, we don't know who's what. Now you got West Coast teams that are in the Big Ten who are traditionally more of a Midwest, East Coast side of this thing.
I mean, and SMU is an ACC team. Cal is an ACC team. Regional responsibilities went out the window years ago.
The you mentioned, who was that you said it a second ago is the ACC team now?
Cal?
Cal. It's the Atlantic Coast Conference. This isn't the PAC. Like, I'm lost on the names of this and where logistically and geographically these teams are right now. Stability is so necessary in college sports right now.
Big news out of Michigan. Ward Manuel, athletic director of the Wolverines, will step down at the end of the calendar year. Huge news.
Yes, it is. He's a Michigan man. He's watched numerous amounts of national championships under his helm of leadership, but he's also had some very sketchy coaches, allegations, and official police charges under his tenure as well. It is probably one of the most polarizing leadership roles of any college sports that we've seen in years.
Yeah.
I get what he is. And I was also listening to somebody this weekend speak about Ward Manuel and how he's also, I think, over or in the college football selection committee. He's got that going on. He's got his hand in a lot of pots, is what I was listening to this weekend. And they were somewhat giving an excuse for how he was allowed to have this much bad go under his tenure, that he had too much going on. But you, sir, also have to man your university. And between Harbaugh, between Michigan's last coach, and also losing your head coach to the NBA as well, like there's just a lot of bad and change going on in Michigan right now. See how sustainable that is, though. He wasn't bad. He was bad. He didn't police anything.
He was bad in terms of the stuff that happened under his watch outside of winning.
Who's won more? Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Who's won more?
They've won a lot. They've won a football championship, and then his head coach left. They won a basketball championship, then his head coach left. A major investigation around Sharon Moore and improper conduct there that it sounds like he knew about and said, just don't bring her on trips with you. And the findings of that investigation from the university come out now. You had Connor Stallion's debacle. You had federal indictment of Matt Weiss, former assistant football coach. And then you have Sharon Moore's firing and arrest in December. I mean, you can't survive all of that.
But he did.
Often you don't survive two of those things. He survived about 4 or 5 of them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you usually don't make it this far.
Had been the AD since 2016. No clue how he still had a job. So now he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
Starting in December.
Somebody will most definitely hire him as a consultant. Like,
I mean, if he wants to, I don't know.
I was going to say, he clearly has an eye for coaching talent. Now,
if he's stepping down, I mean, is he still on some kind of part-time retainer, will pay you to go away type deal?
I would argue that. Why wouldn't I?
Happens all the time.
That's what I was going to say. Why wouldn't I?
Right.
I mean, Coach Fulmer got a go-away payment.
Coach Fulmer is a great example of that. Yep.
No doubt about it.
Yep. So there you go. End of the calendar year. They will release the details of the internal investigation into Sharon Moore soon, they say.
It says at the end of this article, so in August of 2025, NCAA announced financial penalties against Michigan expected to exceed $20 million related to Stallions. Manuel fired Moore in December. Wow.
Probably still worth it to win a national championship.
It is. If we can be completely honest.
And to spy on Tennessee against South Carolina. I'm kidding.
I'm not.
I'm kidding. That did not happen.
You don't get them type of answers in football that quickly.
There's no evidence that happened. That's a conspiracy I wish we'd let
There's a whole documentary on that. I didn't even watch it.
Not about Tennessee and South Carolina.
No, not about that
exactly.
one.
That's what I'm talking about.
But like the whole Connor Scallion side of this thing. What is it, Scallion or Stallion? Stallions.
You hungry?
Yeah, I just made my oatmeal.
Thinking of scallions?
But seriously, what a run.
Would you like
Michigan.
bacon bits and then Connor Scallions on your potato?
Give me a side of them Connor Scallions while you're at it. Bring me a little bit extra. And also bring a tape with you.
That's right.
But what an era, though. You cannot say that Ward Manuel did not have a great era.
Greg Sankey is speaking right now to the media in Tampa, and he has just told everyone there that SEC Media Days will return to Nashville in 2027.
Let's go.
Woo.
Why you say it like
Yay.
that?
Because Media Days are in the post-Steve Spurrier era aren't what they used to be.
We're getting back.
No, they're not.
They're not. I thought Lane was going to hold it down.
We're doing no. I mean, listen. I'm not going to go full Buck Rising here. Like I'll enjoy it because it's an opportunity to talk SEC football, and I like talking about SEC football. But I don't need Media Days to tell me to talk about SEC football. Like I don't know. It'll be fun. We'll be out there. We'll enjoy it. Like I'm not going to complain, but it's not what it used to be. We've evolved past needing Media Days because there's so much coverage.
Yeah.
There's so many interviews. There's so many things that are talked about. These guys are put in front of microphones so much now. It's not what it used to be.
But
It never will be
It's a
again.
nice little wrap up, though. I mean, you got Steve Sarkisian.
No, it's great.
Who
Yeah.
single-handedly took
Be
down.
Bama fans in the lobby. Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be fun.
I mean, Sarkisian single-handedly took down Texas A&M. I mean, Texas Tech.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
And he
I
didn't
like
even
that.
need SEC Media Days to do it. He just did it
I want to hear him brag a little bit.
before.
I want to hear Lane complain about how broke LSU is right now as well. You know what I'm saying? Like they're talking about flight logs and stuff like that.
He doesn't need SEC Media Days to do that. He'll just put it on his Twitter profile.
I kind of want.
Or he'll just tell it to Chris Lowe.
He might give us a little bit
Again,
extra.
not a shot at Chris. Like, Chris gets a lot of access. It's great. Good for Chris. Like, he's had on-3 interviews with coaches. Like, they didn't have to wait to Media Days to get there.
I like it. I'm gonna be real with you.
I don't dislike it. It's not what it used to be.
It'll be a good time. Somebody's gonna give us something this week. They have to.
Well, I'm sure, but they gave us something last month. Like, I don't know. Whatever.
Keep the party going.
Hooray.
the
SEC
party
Media
going.
Days are back in Nashville.
And we get to see people act a fool.
Yay.
It's more the traffic for me.
Just walk outside. You'll see people act a
Why don't you
fool.
like the
Oh, there's traffic anywhere.
what traffic hall?
They shut down Broadway or Demonbreed,
did.
whatever they did.
Sure did. I went by for a little bit the last. No, we did a show there last time.
Yeah,
It's
we
pretty
did.
cool.
Yeah, you were
solid.
definitely there.
Yeah, we were there.
We'll be there again.
Some of my people from Regions and everything. I shot a commercial while I was there.
Oh, wow.
And I think Regions still uses it.
Great.
Yes, you doggone right.
Did it give you a green bicycle?
My guy Ben take care of me, man.
You should get a green bicycle.
With a basket
No,
on the front.
we gotta declutter. I can't take on no new stuff. Nope, do not give me a green
Well, you
bicycle.
can always give it away.
What's that? All my stuff or the green bicycle?
Well,
All of your stuff.
all of your stuff.
I don't
I'll
think
take all
we're
of
not
it.
expecting you to give away all of your stuff.
Yeah.
Usually don't have anybody to give it, so I just take it to the Goodwill.
Just make room for a green bicycle.
A green bicycle. No.
Hey, his name is Will, and he's good.
Yeah. I'm great.
Don't encourage him. Don't encourage Hog. His name is Will, and he's good.
We'll pay it off since we mentioned it before the break. Spain won, Argentina 0. Game went how we expected. Argentina did not have a shot until the 115th minute. After a very exciting tournament, the team that was the favorite coming in just walked its way to the title yesterday. Didn't even get out of second gear.
Yeah, that's tough.
It looked so easy for Spain yesterday, Ramon.
It did. Defensively, it goes back to the old saying, defense wins championships. I didn't realize soccer played that type of defense. I was awakened to that most definitely, and I get the strategy behind it. The way they were able to attack Argentina and pretty much smother them. Anytime Messi got the ball, too, I legitimately was watching it and thinking to myself, like, they're not going to give him any room. This was a double the stars type of moment for Spain and how they just gave zero breath. One shot on goal the entire game for Argentina, who's got arguably the best, if not the second best player in the world, and Lionel Messi. One shot as a team. on
Definitely the
goal.
best player of all time. And I would say, for me right now, he's the second best player in the
Okay.
world.
Best player of all time. I'll give you that.
There's
Mbappe.
no debate that he's the best player of all time.
Numero uno is Kylian Mbappe right now, currently best player in the world.
Currently
is what
playing
you
right
say?
now, in
Yeah.
my opinion, yes.
Okay, gotcha.
That's not a universally shared opinion, and that is my opinion, yes.
Who's the other? I went back and forth with my boys on this one this past weekend.
Yeah.
Somebody who the best. It's like soccer really doesn't have like a controversial who's the best. I was like, what is it?
They used to.
Well, now it's just like they really don't have that. My boys got me in the gotcha moment. I was like, you're having a conversation right now, Dad. I was like, who is it? Cristiano Ronaldo. I was like, Ronaldo's not. He's like, yeah, he kind of is.
A lot of people still would claim that, although the Muppets made a Champions League. The Muppets made a World Cup final before Ronaldo did yesterday. So tough, but there's no debate anymore. There probably was up until the 2022 World Cup when Messi won the World Cup, because that's something that Ronaldo can't say that he's ever done. But there are still some people that would argue Pelé, quality of opponent, era, all those things very different, and Messi's so much better in all those boxes that you can check. But yeah, there's no debate anymore. You're right.
Riddle me something. Is Maradona? Is that how you say his name?
Maradona would be in the conversation as well. Yeah,
That's what I
Diego
was gonna say.
Maradona.
Was his great World Cups? Like, was he also great for
He's
his
great at
club?
everything.
He was.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's great at
All right.
everything. For sure. He's top 5 all time. Yeah.
Top 5 all time.
He's in the next group behind, for me, Messi by himself, Pele and Ronaldo by themselves, then Maradona. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just so hard, though, because you have so many different leagues and countries and eras that have been played, and it's hard to really compare eras together against each other.
I get it.
Josh Pate on Twitter, Michigan news breaking while Greg Sankey is speaking at SEC Media Days. Can't help but respect it.
Respect. That's kind of
Welcome to the news dump of all news dumps. Greg Sankey's up talking. Hey, let's go ahead and drop that. Ward Manuel's out.
Ward Manuel's out.
615-737-1045 as we continue through Quarterback on Netflix. Episode 4 recap is next. If you're moving in Middle Tennessee in this market, you need a local agent with years of experience and a proven track record. What's up? It's Will Bowling. You need Bernie Gallerani Real Estate. Don't rely on that national agent that doesn't know you, your neighborhood, or doesn't know or even care about your goals. I know there's no one size fits all, but Bernie Gallerani Real Estate has options that other agents simply don't or can't have. Go to BernieGallerani.com and see which option is best for you and get the 30-day guarantee. Bernie Gallerani guarantees to sell your home in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it. There's no risk to you. He'll let you out of the contract at any time. The real estate agent with the 30-day guarantee. He turns complicated issues into 5-star Google reviews. You can call Bernie Gallerani at 615-428-2644 or head online to BernieGallerani.com to find out more. That's 615-428-2644. Bernie Gallerani Real Estate, online at BernieGallerani.com. Hour number 3 of Ramon and Will. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling. Quarterback, episode 4. As we continue through the Netflix series following our own Cam Ward, following Baker Mayfield, Joe Flacco, and Jaden Daniels as well. Don't think we're going to have as many takeaways in episode 4, guys, because there was the least amount of Cam Ward in episode 4 as there has been in maybe all the other episodes combined.
Except for the first one, right? Like Cam led it off, and then it disappears. Like there's no real storylines behind it that made you feel like, yeah, they gave Cam a good blip. I mean, a good, section of this documentary. It is get him in, get him out. I know it was a lot of losing that kind of went into those weeks that they were covering him and stuff like that. So nobody likes having camera on them at any point in time when you lose. We've seen players lose their minds over cameras in their faces, a dumb question. So I can understand either Cam wanted to protect himself or the Titans wanted to protect Cam from being too overexposed and the losing that they had going on. But we did. In this 4th episode, we got the Brian Callahan firing.
We did. Anything stand out with the way that was taken?
I'm going to let Hawk take it first because he said it. I don't want to steal his thunder. Hawk, what'd you think of Cam and that whole conversation?
He just shows no emotion. He's just the most even-keeled, most melancholy kind of guy that you'll meet. Literally just says, yeah, I was walking in the hallway and Brian Callahan just popped around the corner. He said, good luck. He said, what you mean? Would you get fired? Yeah. And then he's like, man, this is a business. You just move on, go to the next. And then much like the covering of that, they just moved on. Netflix just moved on.
They did.
There wasn't much more news, much more covering. They said, yep, Mike McCoy takes over, and that's about it. That's
and they showed
the coverage of it.
The little bit of the next game, I think, right?
A little bit. It was a Colts game.
Yeah. They just showed a couple highlights of him.
Yeah, that was it. That was that storyline.
Colts game on the road.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Titans lost pretty good. It was a 40-something to 20-something. So they lost pretty good, and I get that, but I felt like there was more meat on the bone when it comes down to the coverage of Cam, the access that they should have been given, I guess, to Mike McCoy into the documentary as well to kind of speak about what's next for Cam. They could have got Bo Hardegree in that conversation about, hey, what's your plan for Cam moving forward? And I guess that's a part of it, too, and I've kind of mentioned this lightly, but like Peyton Manning being a part of it, like Peyton's a former football player. Not that it's him that's shooting and editing content, but you do get trust when you have a guy like Peyton. If this was HBO and they were given this type of access, I feel like they'd have just stuck the knife in and twist a little bit more to try to get more out of that storyline. But Hawk, just to get back to your original point of where Cam was, I feel like with a player like Cam, he's kind of disheveled a little bit and kind of removed from being emotional about moments that happen. And I wonder, is it because of his pathway up? And you've kind of gone the 0-star ranking to, a small school, Incarnate Word. Then you go to Washington State, who's, on the back end of like the Pac-12, and you go to Miami, you finally ascend to this point. You've seen a lot of bad. You've probably traveled to football games in college on bus. So him being removed emotionally from his head coach getting fired, I think the other part of it is Cam was probably fed up himself. He was probably looking for a change. So I agree with you. He is unemotional in the things that kind of happen. I've said this before, even, in the wins and losses or the wins that the Titans experienced last year, you got to celebrate the good. And I do think the emotional side that he has as a player hasn't gotten to that point to where he's satisfied with understanding the appreciation of good in this league. And he just kind of marched to his own drum.
How often were you around players wired like Cam who are just totally unemotional and process-oriented in all things?
Be real with you. Not often.
So, he really is a rare breed in the way that he thinks and operates.
Especially from that position being so young.
Yeah.
Now, here's where it can be.
Usually guys that I imagine would go the other direction and be too emotional and too high or low.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You kind of see that a little bit from Jaden Daniels and him being another young guy in this documentary with him. Like, you see a lot out of him. But here's the other part.
And we see his mom more than we see him in the show.
Oh, dude, I love the fact that Mama's around. I do. It's kind of cool to watch her. But, some of this is let that boy be a man. I'm sorry. That's just me.
No, don't apologize. You are 100% right.
I respect her business, acumen that she has and try to understand and be involved with him, but let that young man be a man, Mama. I'm sorry.
He comes out looking the worst out of all the 4 quarterbacks in this show, and a lot of it is not through any fault of his own.
It's not.
I would agree. I mean, he has to give her a thumbs up whenever he's injured because she can't go onto the field and make sure he's okay. It's like, make sure when you get out of that blue tent, make sure you give me a thumbs up.
Respect mamas and what they do.
It's a little weird.
It is.
It's a little weird.
She a bulldozer mom, not a helicopter. She is most definitely alpha. You better have your mind right if you think you're gonna get some of that that Jaden Daniels check money. No, you better be an alpha. Going
Surprised they even put in there that in the Chargers game that he won, that Juju Watkins was in the suite,
his friend
at the game. When he was talking about with his teammates, like, I got to go give somebody a ball if I score. Like, oh, how mom let that get into the cut? Wow, that's crazy.
And she probably want to let all the other little hussies know that no, you better have something coming.
You better be an All-American if you're going to date Jaden.
You better.
Or if you're going to get a football from Jaden.
I'm telling you, So I get the protection of her, and I respect it as well. But it does get to a point where it's just like, I didn't realize she's going to be that much into the documentary. And it is the Daniels Foundation, so she's protecting it. I respect that side of it, but Mama, let that young man grow a little bit more.
As you say, rather say whoa than sick 'em, but we are saying whoa.
We are saying whoa.
Mama Daniels.
We are.
But that being said, people ask all the time, just walking around and talk about Cam and Titans, like, what's he like? What's Cam like? And who I compare Cam to is the guy whose picture was on his wall at his parents' house in the first episode. Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant.
See that.
That's the player that he's clearly idolized. The way that Kobe Bryant went famous for comments like, what's there to be happy about? Job ain't finished. The Mamba mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is chip on my shoulder. Got to prove myself. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. Just keep moving. It's Kobe.
It is.
Now, this is not a bad thing whatsoever, but I think that's always going to be the way that Cam Ward processes anything that happens to him. I legitimately feel like it's not just the 0-star stuff. It's not just small town in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just Incarnate Word, Washington State, Miami. It's all of it. It's truly the way that this guy is wired as a human being. He has got the Kobe Bryant mentality of emotionless life.
Yeah.
So regardless of how we can or can't relate to that, regardless of the way his teammates understand or don't understand the way that he's wired, this is just who Cam Ward is.
Mm-hmm.
And everything that we have seen in this show has only strengthened that, in my opinion, and what I've known about him and the way that he operates.
You know the difference, I feel like, in the way Cam's doing it, because you talking, I'm listening to you say, and I think the way you describe Cam, how it's never enough. Like, I think every player is that way, especially if you are the top 1%, or even in college, you're really daggone good in college, right? You do have the mindset. Now, you speaking made me think about the conversation I had with my boys. Like, okay, you get this accomplishment, then what's next? It's always what next? What is next for me? Like, I got the contract. Okay, cool. I got this offer. Okay, what's next? I got this ring. Okay, what's next? Like, I had the mentality, and I think everybody that's chasing something does have that mentality. It's just that with Cam, you hear him verbally and emotionally say that. Like, when Brady would win one, he would celebrate it, right, and just kind of move on. Same with Peyton. Peyton Manning wasn't the best podium guy when you look at the way he handled wins, losses, championships, and stuff like that. It's just Cam's appreciation of small moments is verbalized different through that mindset of what's next, where other guys would take a second, breathe for a minute, and then move on and internally say what's next and not give it to the crowd. Cam gives it every single opportunity he gets, and I think that's the difference in his approach on why he seems removed from good or bad. He expresses it as like it's never good.
Well, and there hasn't been enough good for us to really know what Cam is like when things are good. I mean, to be fair, he only had 3 wins to celebrate last year.
And those wins were kind of, had to fight tooth and nail to kind of get those. So I guess the satisfaction in, like, winning wasn't there because you felt like you, I don't want to say lucked into a win, or you barely got by to win. So, yeah, I get the mindset, and he expresses it that much. I do think where this franchise is at, as far as offensively, because I think the defense handles itself. There needs to be a little bit of that pressure, though. That type of pressure, I think, is good because guys walking into the room, your Pat Coogans, your young rookies, your Chimere DKs even that came in with them, Elikiah Manor, it's like, if it's going to move in the right direction for this team, this franchise, I think that offensive mentality has to pay dividends. It has to show up. Because defensively, they've answered a lot more than they haven't over the last stretch of bad years.
So you think they have more question marks on offense this year than defense?
Yes, easily. Even with some of the talent that's been brought in. How does Wan'Dale work with Cam? How does Cam work with Cam in his offense?
Cam work with Brian Dable.
There we go. It's the same quarterback questions we have, like that growth, that next step.
What did you guys think about Cam Ward's relationship with Brian Callahan and what we saw in this show now that Brian Callahan has exited stage right?
It's exactly what Cam said. I think he was a great guy, cool individual.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cam recognized he wasn't a good coach.
Did you ever feel like those two totally spoke the same language?
Nope, I don't.
I didn't either.
I think they would have made it work had they got some wins. But
sure,
losing in bad moments exposes a lot. It's just like relationships that go through like financial issues. The relationship could be fine, but it's the moment something goes wrong or you're spending too much or we don't have money for this, other problems arise.
Right.
I don't hate to correlate it to that, but like it's just like a perfect relationship until something goes bad.
I mean, to be fair to Callahan, a lot of the coaching points that we saw him give Cam during this show, albeit brief, were needed.
They were.
In the film study they did of Matthew Stafford, showing Cam, look at how quickly he gives up on this, knowing that this route and this side of the field has nothing. Look at how quickly he then shifts, is over here to the left, bang, foot's in the ground, ball's out. Because that is the weakness right now for Cam Ward. He stays on to things for too long, and he doesn't give up on different parts of a play quickly enough. The timing and the processing speed is not there.
Right.
So, yeah, I think Brian Callahan knew the right things that Cam Ward needed to be more successful. Now, did he have a system that I think was friendly enough to the quarterback in order for him to be successful? No. But it never felt like their personalities totally meshed the way I think Cam Ward and Brian Dable already speak the same language.
It's that part.
Imagine if Cam Ward, let's say in an alternate world, has this play caller and offensive coordinator week 1 in Denver. Imagine how that conversation goes if Cam Ward tells Brian Dable what he wants to run on 3rd and 20 in Denver in field goal range. You think Brian Dable is going to let him?
No.
There's no question. Brian Dable said, hey, Cam, I need you to listen to me. We're going to run this. You're going to hand the ball off. We're going to throw a screen. We're going to get out of here. We're going to take 3 points. I don't think there's, I mean, right? Like,
and he'd have called it that way.
Yeah. That was the moment.
He'd have called
I
it
don't
that
think
way.
this coaching staff is going to give Cam the freedom that the last one did. And I think that's a good thing.
I do too.
I think this coaching staff is going to tell Cam what he needs to do versus let it be a little bit more of an open dialogue. That's the vibe that I get.
A big question that I have, and looking back at the season for myself, and as you're talking, I'm thinking like this coaching staff versus last one. Was Callie fighting for his job week 1 coming into the season? Was there any doubt? Because I feel like as bad as it was in year 1 for Callie, like you hope that Cam could get over top, and he was judged directly by Cam.
I do think he was fighting for his job week 1.
From week 1. And
I mean, if it isn't week 1, it was week 2, because after the Elikiah Manor foot down, 1 elbow equals 2 feet stuff, and the not knowing the right rules after week 1, that's when things got loud very quickly.
You can't
very quickly.
Yeah. It's interesting looking at it be narrated, Bob. And like Hawk said, the ability for Ken to be talking to his girlfriend at the time and be like, yeah, it is what it is. And they talk about.
And she's like, it happened so fast. He's like, yeah, it does.
Just kept making his taco with
happens
lettuce.
Fast. He talked in that moment and in that episode like he was a vet. Like, oh yeah, I've been here. I've been through a couple of these. Like, and he hasn't.
He hasn't.
But that is how even, and I've seen it on the sideline. I mean, there are rare moments of happiness or sadness and rare moments of emotion, but anytime I'd see anything other than just the norm from him, it would be like a 2-second something. Like Cam Ward is himself all the time, and he knows who he is, and I love that about him.
Man, it just also just points to the reality of first-time head coaches, play callers, managers of teams, like how hard that actually is for Callahan's perspective too, and dealing with how big of a job being an NFL head coach is as well.
Right, because you got to know that the rules are what they are, and when you can or can't challenge things.
Yeah.
And also, you're calling plays for the first time as an NFL coach, and you have this new quarterback that your team's drafted when maybe in your heart of hearts you would have rather had Sam Darnold and gone for someone that gave you a little bit more security. Well, you don't get to make those decisions as an NFL head coach.
No, you do not.
You get given who you're given. And I'm sure he was fine with drafting Cam Ward, but we said it through free agency leading up to that draft pick. You know Callahan would rather go with the veteran free agent that gives him more security. 100%. It's not what happened. It's not the card he was dealt. And when he was dealt, he didn't play well enough.
And again, I know this is such a connected buddy league, but like he's not a bad coach. He's just probably not yet in his career a leader of a franchise.
I'll be honest. That's the thing I probably learned the most in spending more time around that team and that coaching staff and just this league in general. Even the bad coaches really do know ball. They do.
Yeah.
Like they are still masters of certain things. It's the application of that knowledge to success and packaging that in a way for your players that allows them to be successful that things get lost in translation. Yeah. Callahan is a good dude, man. Like I still did always want to root for the person. There are a lot of good dudes I don't want coaching my football team, and unfortunately, he's probably one of them. As a head coach, probably more a lieutenant than a general. But Callahan, through this whole show, like, he's a human being that you did want to root for. Like, I legitimately do believe he is a very good guy. Unfortunately, I think he was maybe a good guy to his detriment at times.
I think he got taken advantage of.
I think he was too good of a guy to be a head coach of the National Football League. I really do. And he'd still yell at guys. Like, we still saw him at practices. Like, he'd get into you if he needed to.
He's fired up.
I think he gave Cam a little bit too much control a little bit too quickly.
As a rookie, you say that.
I think he gave Will Levis a little bit too much control too quickly. He's a quarterback guy. Wants to believe in his dudes. Wants to believe in his guys. And unfortunately, those guys let him down.
They did.
So who's that on? That's not on the guys for letting you down. That's on you for getting in the power.
Yeah.
If I put a 14-year-old behind the wheel of a car and they crash it, it's not the 14-year-old's fault. That's my fault for getting them the keys and saying drive.
You should be watching.
There is one part of this episode, it's not Titans related, that I found fascinating that we'll talk about coming up next. Ramon Foster, Will Balding, Ramon and Will, 104.5 The Zone. We've been going through Quarterback on Netflix and what we have learned about Cameron Anthony Ward, your quarterback of the Tennessee Titans. But there was one thing in episode 4 that stood out to me that I think doesn't get appreciated enough in sports. Ramon Foster and Will Bowling, 615-737-1045. So Joe Flacco goes from one Ohio AFC North franchise to another. Obviously, you know the story. Goes from Cleveland to Cincinnati. We don't talk about enough how long play calls are in certain systems and how quickly guys have got to learn them. And also how much the radio communication actually does go out in your helmet. Hearing a full Zach Taylor play call and seeing how quickly Joe Flacco had to learn said play call in order to play, and how in one play he's like, yeah, I accidentally gave T. Higgins a route that was a protection. I literally just told him to run something and it wasn't even a route. How often does that really happen?
With backups?
Where communication gets messed up and you're looking around like, that's not a real play call.
With the backup guys, often.
That is crazy to me.
Is the call, and it's also the checks at the line of scrimmage as well. It's like, Liz, no, it's supposed to be a Larry call right here. Leo, no, it's supposed to be a Liz call right. Like, there's a lot that goes into that, man, which is why, again, when you have your guy, you love having your guy out there. The reason we love, as players, a franchise quarterback is, you know this. He knows the playbook. He's won the job, and he knows how to make me right. I just need to make sure he's got time to get us all lined up right. Because you saw the receivers, was it T. Higgins and also Jamar Chase, both was just like, no, we understood that wasn't the call. Like, they knew the play that was attached to the formation, and they made Joe right in those moments. But, yeah, Will, it's a lot more. You know, the other thing that was quite impressive, he didn't have on the armband with the plays. And I'm trying to think also, did Cam also not have on wristbands? He does have on wristbands. Okay. Yeah. But some of these guys, Joe Flacco's just out there on vibes going, I guess, with old plays that he's done in the past.
I mean, that is crazy to me. I mean, hearing how long those play calls are, and thinking about how short amount of time he had to learn them, and then go play against the Green Bay Packers. Kudos to Joe Flacco and all other quarterbacks that have to do that.
Most of it correlates from one playbook to the other. Even in college, like, it's usually formation side, plays, motions, offensive line stuff, run or pass with an attachment. So
can you give like a sample? Do you remember a call that you would have had?
I do not.
Okay.
Because after a while, like my last 5-6 years, we were just going off code words.
The whole play?
The whole play.
Wow. Okay.
Round 76.
See, that's the thing that's so interesting to me is that a Zach Taylor play call could be an entire full-length sentence of trips right, Z drive, Lucy, X at aliciousness, freaking whatever. Like, I haven't going to the Key and Peele sketch now, but like legitimately a full sentence. And then other offenses can just have flanker cross Lucy.
Yeah.
On 2.
Lucy's the entire play.
Break.
Lucy's the route. So we would go, let's go Black Cadillac. Black Cadillac was 76 protection for the offensive line.
See, why doesn't everyone do that?
Cadillac, the name was to the entire route tree that everybody has. So you might have had a go, you might have had a slant, you might have had a drag. But Cadillac is that, unless the quarterback gives an audible like, hey, it's easy, and give you a signal.
So why doesn't everyone just have the short play call?
You got to be together long enough.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, we were at a point to where most of us were 4+ years together. The quarterback had already been there as his system. Most of the wide receivers got it. And you walk through, you rep, you go through in practice and stuff like that. It's a matter of, like, if Cam stays in this offense for 2 years, you'll probably end up morphing into that yourself.
See, because the only downside of that would be if I'm, let's say, Carnell Tate.
Yeah.
And I learned Black Cadillac, for example, as the outside receiver.
Yeah.
But then on the next drive, I'm playing slot receiver. The only difficult thing would be like knowing both jobs.
But it might be a different formation.
You got to learn
right back in your position.
Oh, that's true. You got to learn everyone's job if you're going to just learn the name. Because I would imagine if you are giving X comeback or X dig, Y fly, Z, I don't know, sluggo. Like, I don't know. I'm just picking random routes. I'm not actually making a play. I don't know ball the way Ramon does, obviously. That's the only thing that would maybe make it easier to have a longer play call is if I'm the receiver, I'm literally hearing in the huddle what my route is.
And that's all it is sometimes. Like in high school, we went off like a number system. Less so if it was a pass play. I remember high school, not NFL, because they chopped it down so much to where you only had to worry about what you were doing. So when I heard Black Cadillac, the 77 protection, we're man-to-man on the left side, center's going right, they got the mic. That's where it's at. In high school, it'd be like pro right, zap, 386 F around. Okay? So that would be pro right, of course.
Sure.
3 is a 3 route. Was it 3? 5, about 3 yard out. 8, post. 6, drag. With an F, ghosting. But in college, that would just be pro right swatch. 66 protection for me.
Interesting.
And the swatch is what the wide receivers are doing. Pro formation and quarterbacks a tag, whatever else you want behind that.
How often
I
would
like that with system better.
would with Ben the headset go out and he just call something?
Easy. 52. He just give the protection. 52. Go. Would that be us at the line of scrimmage?
No, but how much could you tell that the headset has gone out?
It was only one place.
He can't hear the coach and really?
You know where? It was only one place in that era. Only
Kansas
one
City?
place. Nope.
Baltimore?
Nope.
Okay, well then I don't know.
You do. When I say
Seattle?
it, you're gonna be like, hell yeah. New England. New England. New England. Only place that went out consistently. Ask anybody. I
You
guarantee
have told me that before.
We're going
I
to hear
remember
from
that now.
somebody inside the Titans organization right now to say they always had communication issues in New England. Only place, Will.
It's weird because now that happens in Chapel Hill a lot. 615-737-1045 is our number. Nashville SC got back to action over the weekend. Tell you about what they did against Atlanta after this. Hey, what's going on? It's Will Bowling. For over 50 years, Brentwood Jewelry has been proudly serving the Brentwood community with exceptional style and exceptional deals every day. As a family-owned and operated business spanning 3 generations, they are deeply rooted in this community. From Salem's service and special forces to his sons serving as local firefighters, the Imamali family is dedicated to giving back. So in a time that is imperative to support local, shop Brentwood Jewelry at 7012 Church Street East, located in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. You can find out more about their selections and about them at BrentwoodJewelry.com. I trusted Brentwood Jewelry for everything that me and my family needed during my wedding a couple of months ago. They made the process so easy, and you too feel like a member of their family when you walk in the doors. So check them out, 7012 Church Street East, located in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road, online at BrentwoodJewelry.com. That's Brentwood Jewelry, exceptional style, exceptional deals every day for over 50 years.
9:04. Good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. Breaking news this morning in college sports. Michigan Athletic Director Ward Manuel is going to step down at the end of the calendar year, the school announced earlier. Manuel has been Michigan's AD for 10 years, and the Wolverines won 4 different national championships under his tenure. Spain, they're World Cup champions for the second time in their history after beating Argentina 1-0 yesterday in the 2026 World Cup final at MetLife Stadium. Ferran Torres subbed on in the 62nd minute and then scored in the 16th minute of extra time, lifting Spain over Argentina. On Saturday, England beat France 6-4 in a dramatic match to win third place in the World Cup. France forward Kylian Mbappe scored twice, and he takes home the Golden Boot of the World Cup with 10 goals scored. Today, SEC Media Days kick off in Tampa Bay. Commissioner Greg Sankey just wrapped up his media availability. Tennessee head coach Josh Heupel will speak later this afternoon with running back Deshaun Bishop and linebackers Arion Carter and Jeremiah Thielander representing the Vols players. Oklahoma, Missouri, and Kentucky also are going to speak today. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
There is new reporting and a new prediction around one of the biggest recruitments in the history of Tennessee football for a Tennessee prospect. We got that for you coming up here in hour number 4 in 15 minutes. Pete Nakos is making a prediction about David Gabriel Georges with announcement date Wednesday. Want to talk with Ramon about the decision that Tennessee is making to go all in financially on a running back. Mm-hmm. Are they making too big of an investment on one player? We'll talk about that coming up here in 15 minutes. 615-737-1045. Ramon Foster, Will Bowler, Justin Hawkins. Nashville SC gets a 1-0 victory over Atlanta United on Friday night. They will quickly turn around and take on CF Montreal on Wednesday, right back here at Geodis Park. And again, that's one of 7 opportunities that you have, at least, to see Nashville SC at home through the end of August. And that's only with 3 Leagues Cup matches already on the schedule. So maybe even more opportunities to see the boys in gold play at Geodis Park through the end of August. Shaq Muhammad with a goal in the 78th minute. Ramon, it was a great return for NSC, who gets a 1-0 victory and is now unbeaten in 9 in MLS play.
No, it's awesome to get back on the right track, man, or get back on the track after watching so much soccer and having those downtimes too. You mentioned, I think we can speak about this on air, but legitimately this is the ramp up period. They also had this as well when they took off for the World Cup, right? Like they didn't just start playing soccer on Friday night. For the guys that weren't in the World Cup, there was like a training camp that was involved in this as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So to see them be in a position in which they took advantage of this time, I don't think anybody had an injury coming out of it. You ended up getting some guys back from injury. So I'm now, as a SC fan, Nashville SC fan, glad that they can get back on the right track, because that long off, I couldn't imagine if the football season took off 5 weeks. Like that would throw chemistry out the way, which, again, you saw a little bit as they were not connected on the passes across the pitch. You saw a lot of slippage, and that was probably because of the rain and stuff like that. But getting your footing and understanding how to move and play on that surface again was probably new to them, because I don't know if they've been in better weather situation because of practice, or
they were in Salt Lake for a little bit.
So better weather situations they were faced with. But the humidity, I know it was hot, muggy on Friday night as well. It was,
yep.
So all of that, and you still come out with a dub.
It was a little sloppy, and that was to be expected.
Of course.
To your point, I think the other part of it that BJ Callahan, the manager, had to navigate was the fact that you were coming out of a long break into a 3-match week. So Nashville, again, will play Wednesday, and then we'll travel to Orlando Saturday. So not only are you getting right back to play, you are asking your players to play a lot of minutes. And so maybe there was a little bit more lineup rotation, just knowing the battle you still had to fight Wednesday and next Saturday, versus if you didn't have the game Wednesday against Montreal. I think you maybe would have seen Jason Palacios and Andy Nahar in the starting lineup and not Brennan off the bench. I don't know that. That's purely me speculating and guessing. But just seeing the way teams are going to have to manage this right now, you are asking a lot of these players to go from playing 0 minutes to playing potentially in 1 week 270 minutes. That is a big lift, and you are thinking more about October, November, and December than you are about July. This is a ramp back up. So I think that's something that all 30 coaches are going to have to navigate around Major League Soccer right now, and maybe why you didn't see the same crispness from Nashville SC. And again, I'm guessing on all this. You know, I was out there training, and they look fresh, they look good. Right. But once you kind of get into the heat of competition, into the heat of taking on another opponent that's not yourself, that's a lot of mileage, a lot of heat, a lot of humidity, a lot of travel that's upcoming for them. And so I think they were smart to kind of slowly walk back into things. But I thought Brian Schwacke was tremendous in this game, the NSC goalkeeper, who was the player that looked most like he did before the break. 5 saves in this game, a point-blank stop on Luke Brennan halfway through the second half that kept the match level. 7th shutout of the season for him. He is second in MLS behind LAFC's Hugo Lloris, who was a part of France's 2018 World Cup win, when they did win the World Cup with a young Kylian Mbappe. Eddie Tagseth made his first appearance since April 28th. Sam Surridge started his first MLS game since the first week in April, so both really good things there. The bad news is that Christian Espinoza was hurt and not in the team. Warren Madrigal was on the injury report and not in the team. Patrick Yazbek still working his way back from injury that he suffered as well in Mexico. And then Jason Palacios and Andy Dahar both also had to come off the bench. So it's like Nashville went into the break with a number of players injured. A lot of guys on that list got healthy, and then unfortunately a number of guys who were hurt or who were healthy got hurt. So Nashville has just had some crazy injury luck or lack thereof this season, and it is still really exciting to think about how good this team is going to be when it's healthy, because right now they are comfortably leading the Eastern Conference and comfortably on top of MLS, and it feels like they've not really even hit top gear yet.
A question for you as far as like top gear is finishing out the season. So this goes all the way through November, correct?
December.
Okay.
Season goes a little bit longer considering, well, playoffs go through December, and we expect to be deep in the playoffs.
So the question I have for you is, next year the new MLS schedule is changing.
It is.
Is time off the same?
No.
It's shorter.
Good question.
Yeah.
So it'll be the same going into the next season, maybe a little bit shorter if NSC can make a deep run. And the season usually ends on the 3rd Saturday in October, actually. Usually Tennessee and Alabama are playing, and it's the final game of the MLS regular season. Well, now that's about 2 weeks later. So MLS Cup, I believe, is Friday, I want to say December 16th. I think that's right. Let me check that real quick. I know it's middle of December, and it's on a Friday night for the first time this year as well, which I think is very smart to avoid dealing with Conference Championship weekend, which they typically do. Friday, December 18th, same day Avengers Doomsday comes out. Shout out. And from there, you will have a sprint season that is February through May. So they're going to play a half season. That way you don't have a full 8 months off. You still got to play.
Right.
So you'll have a half season from February through May, and then you'll get a summer break, and then the new schedule will start to take next fall. So this time next year, this will be preseason time for NSC. Essentially, they're going to be a school year.
Yeah.
That's the way the rest of the world does soccer. They do a school year.
So catch up.
You play August through May, and the only difference is that MLS will have a break around Christmas through the Super Bowl to avoid playing in frigid temperatures that a lot of Europe doesn't have to deal with, that we have to deal with here.
Got you.
It's a hard sport to play when it's 10 degrees in Canada.
Speaking of the intermittent season that they have, Hawk, I think you were out, Will, Friday. Yeah, I know you were out. This heavy soccer ball indoor stuff?
Futsal. We talked about it on Thursday when I was here.
All right.
Elias Saad, the player they just signed from Germany, who's Tunisian player, used to play futsal.
I didn't realize there were this many different versions of soccer.
There's beach soccer, too, that has its own World Cup.
Stop.
Where you play on a beach. Literally just how it sounds.
A beach ball or still soccer ball?
No, still soccer ball. You're shoeless.
That thing is like airless.
It's like airless?
No, the beach ball would be airless to play.
That would be impossible.
Really hard.
Kicking the ball on sand is challenging.
That's a lot easier to do a bicycle kick on beach soccer because you're going to land on sand.
Yeah.
So a lot of goals are bicycle kicks and crazy, do something wild.
As you were speaking about the change in this season, that's kind of where I was going to go. So NFL, I know football is a very physical sport. I get it. Basketball is on the hardwood. You got to take care of the joints and knees and stuff like that.
Sure.
Is there ever any conversation about this being too much soccer for as long as the seasons are?
Yes, there is actually.
Because
all around the world, including here.
Okay. All right. I'm tripping because I'm looking at the schedule with Nashville SC. The first game was dating back to February 20. I mean, what was this? February?
Last Saturday in February.
Yeah. And it goes all the way through November in the regular season. Now, I know it's not every day, but like.
No, you are walking into a very hot topic.
All right, well, I'll back out.
No. Well, don't back out. You're right. Players in this sport are being asked to play more and more and more, and the Champions League has an expanded phase, and all of a sudden now in MLS you add Leagues Cup, and then you have the U.S. Open Cup, and then you have the CONCACAF Champions Cup, and then you have MLS play. Yeah. And then these guys are going with their international teams. Yeah. And now there are more international windows because more international teams could make the World Cup. And if you sell tickets to it, you're going to make more money. If you create more games and more television dollars, you're going to make more money. And for a league like MLS that's growing, you are in the business of making more money. But at what cost? Because soft tissue injuries and hamstrings and quads and calves and
wear and tear.
It is a big topic. Okay. Really big topic, not only in MLS, but around the world right now. I was looking for the stat on Declan Rice, the England player who was Arsenal's best player this past season in the English Premier League in their title win. And he played this season from August through May, 69 soccer games, 5,394 minutes. And that was my concern about England. It's why they were my pick to win the World Cup, but why I wasn't confident in it at all. The English league is so competitive, top to bottom, that your best players have to play more than in any other league around the world. So you have less in July to give your country, if you're English, than Ousmane Dembele does for France, who is only asked to play one game a week for PSG because they could play their backups and win the league in France. Same with Bayern Munich. Same with, recently, Barcelona, because Real Madrid's been such a mess. In England, you ask these players to play so much that by the time you get to now, like Bukayo Saka was nursing a major injury. Declan Rice was nursing a major injury. Like half that team had played 50 to 60 games this past season. And you're talking about running 8 or 9 miles per game for some of those guys.
On top of practice.
70 times.
Yeah.
In basically a school year.
And that's why I have to ask that question, because I had to open my eyes up to how physical basketball is and was. You feel me? But looking at soccer as much as I watched it through the World Cup, and now even looking at Nashville SC, like the physicality is there. And I know it's not football. I know it's not, what we as Americans deem as that. But your body's
different kind of strain.
Taking the like it's getting taxed through all of this on top of your feet.
It is.
Your feet will is
feet, hamstrings, knees, toes, shins, head,
shins.
Different kind of strain, but absolutely, it is a major topic right now as this league grows and as obviously the greed for television money and revenue happens obviously all around the world, just like it is in the college football playoff here. Like in the same way that college football is obsessed with adding more games to make more money, so is the rest of the world and the most popular sport in the world.
I get it.
And so who's ultimately asked to carry that load but the players?
Yeah. And, of course, if they promise them more bread, more money, then they'll probably take it, right? That's usually the caveat in all of this.
How much more choice.
Can you get paid?
It's not up to them. If you're competitive, you're going to go out there and you're going to play when you're asked to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1,000%.
The thing is now, and again, you have Gianni Infantino and FIFA talking about making a 64-team World Cup next time around.
Yeah, we did have the conversation.
Which actually would be better than 48.
Okay.
I didn't love 48. 64 is better than 48 because then we don't have to have these weird third-place teams make the round of 32 out of groups. Yeah. You could go back to just taking the top 2 teams in every group and make it way simpler.
Way more simple.
Way simpler. So you could go from 64 and cut down to 32 more easily than you go from 48 to cut to 32. It's kind of like when the NFL went to 17 games. It was to always go to 18. That's kind of how I feel about the World Cup.
Okay.
Going to 48. Like they went to 48, but the rounder number is actually 64.
It was the filler.
Because to get to a round of 32 in a knockout stage, then you can just take the top 2 teams in every group.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed soccer this summer. I know I did.
I did.
Ari Wasserman had a very naive tweet, and I like Ari a lot. I think he does a really good job, but I thought he had a very weird tweet. Oh, today's his birthday. Happy birthday, Ari. You had a terrible tweet yesterday. He said, international soccer is like college football with pageantry, passion, and loyalty. International soccer is different from college football because the games themselves suck. No, Ari, that's because you don't know what you're watching. And in the same way that you would argue with someone who tells you a 10-7 Big Ten game that you watched for years covering Ohio State would suck, you would tell them, well, no, but good defense is still good football. I'll tell you the same thing, man. Good defense is still good soccer. And Spain played great defense with the ball yesterday.
Yeah, they did.
When you know what you're watching, the games don't suck.
Or if you want to learn how to watch it.
But you don't know what you're watching, and you don't care to.
Yeah, he don't care to.
Ari
I was just
Wasserman.
going to say. He don't care to learn how to watch it. It's the same way I view, like, tennis. Like, once I started to understand it, I thoroughly enjoy it right now. By the way, Sinner's just good, too. He won Wimbledon.
Yannick Sinner. Yeah, he is.
Yannick Sinner. He's
Pretty
just
decent.
good.
That's high-level analysis. Yannick Sinner's pretty good.
I mean, just the way he won. You're right. But the way he won, though, was when you're number one, you show people. And he absolutely did with the way he walked that one down because it was very competitive in the first two sets, and then it wasn't.
Coming up, there has been a prediction from On3's Pete Nakos about Baylor school running back David Gabriel Georges as he announces his decision between Tennessee and Ohio State Wednesday. We will tell you where Pete Nakos is predicting David Gabriel Georges to go after this. A potentially significant development on the horizon for Tennessee football this morning. As we continue in the fourth and final hour, we're going to have Nate Washington on. Going to try to reschedule with him. Stuff going on there that we'll try to get him back on this week. If you saw that on social media earlier this morning, we will reconnect with Nate, Ramon Foster, and Will Bowling. Pete Nakos on Twitter says, on a prediction, expert prediction, as it's officially called, with 70% confidence level for Tennessee to land 5-star plus running back from the Baylor School in Chattanooga, David Gabriel Georges. Pete Nakos putting it on the record, Ramon, that he believes DGG will play for Tennessee. What are your thoughts?
The fact that he left a little room for error lets you know that it's probably more real than anything, because if we go 100%, then that can just flip. But I think it's a 70%.
And you never see that, by the way, real quick.
Yeah, well, but even still, 70-30, you like those odds.
70 is higher than usual.
Yeah. It just, I was talking to you on there, so we was kind of discussing it lightly. It's big time for the Vols. It kind of hushes publicly, as contested as this recruiting has been, that Tennessee's serious about recruiting, that Tennessee is trying its best to get to the point to where it's national dominance and prominence year in and year out. And this type of recruiting does that for you when you can have this many people writing about what Gabriel Georges is as a running back and as a prospect. I'm hoping for the sake of the Vols, Josh Heupel, the quarterbacks that will play in this system as well, as good as he's slated to be, if somebody out there, relating him to Herschel Walker, like this significant. Like Ricky Williams is in that conversation. You look at Adrian Peterson, these types of quarterback. Heck, even Zeke Elliott is one of those guys, Reggie Bush. Like, this is a Reggie Bush level of recruiting. I'm not saying the player aligns with what Reggie Bush turned out to be at USC. You hope that for a 5-star plus guy. But my point of is, if the Vols are, and Pete Nakos is right on them getting this prediction that he's coming to the Vols, hopefully a guy like him helps changes the conversation around what this offense is. Because you can do it with Deshaun Bishop. You can do it with all the running backs they've had as in years past, right? Dylan Sampson. But none of those guys have been high caliber, high recruited draft picks, or recruits, that is. You even look at Deshaun Bishop as it stands right now, a walk-on turned into a starter. Like, that's where he is in his career, and possibly turn himself into a mid-round, maybe even early-round draft pick. But for the Vols to get him, and if he goes out and run the way we've seen him do at the Baylor School, in this offense that's also a run-first mentality, hopefully it changes the perception where Tennessee's offense is viewed more like LSU's or Texas A&M or Ole Miss's, to where, oh, yeah, this can work in college, and it'll translate over to the NFL.
A couple of things here. First, I want to start selfishly and prop up our good friends at VolQuest, who have been consistent that Tennessee was in a very good position from start to finish on David Gabriel Georges. Yeah. Hasn't committed yet Wednesday. Obviously, there's still time here, and there's still time to signing day as well, and you never know. Never know.
Never.
That being said, Ramon, every time we've had Brent Hubbs and Austin Price on, they've said the same things. Tennessee remains in a very good position for David Gabriel Georges. Nothing is ever done until it's done, but they have done everything they possibly can here. And so they've been right on this from the start, even when some national folks, who, again, do a good job, and I mean, you can't always be right, have said otherwise. So that's number one. David Gabriel Georges is a really big deal for Tennessee, obviously, in terms of what he brings you on the football field. He is the closest thing to Derrick Henry out of Yulee High School outside Jacksonville that this state has maybe ever seen. Right. What he brings you is a pass catcher, a runner, a threat, a centerpiece to build your offense around is significant. And you watch him for 5 seconds on film, you're going to see that. So let's just let that be what it is. I don't need to explain to you the football implications of David Gabriel Georges. Here's what I will say. Based on the way Tennessee has started to change its strategy for recruiting, this is significant because you are starting to see Tennessee only pay major money for high school players that can immediately help them. This season, Tennessee's recruiting class is not close to what it was ranked at the end of last season. Yes, it's early, but I think you are also seeing the style and the strategy shift. Brett Hubbs and Austin Price have told us that as well. They are no longer in the business of paying a high school senior and soon to be college freshman to hand a clipboard to the starter and to sit and wait. Because what does that do for you if that guy gets tired of waiting and then leaves? If you're going to pay somebody out of high school, you pay a guy who's going to start right away like David Sanders, a guy that's going to play pretty quickly like Mike Matthews, a guy that's going to play really quickly like TK Keys might this upcoming season.
Faison.
George McIntyre, Faison Brandon, similar. That being said, if that's your strategy, you better hit on the big guys because you are leaving yourself vulnerable to having a class ranked between 20 and 30 if you then go for lower dollar amount developmental guys who are willing to wait.
Right.
And then you don't get David Gabriel Georges. Then you've got a lot of money you got to make up at the transfer portal, and you can't totally live just that way either. So it is significant that it appears that this is going to go Tennessee's way because they have invested a lot of time and a lot of money into this being the centerpiece of a recruiting class that rankings-wise probably isn't going to be all that close to what it was last year. Right. But there's reason and intention behind that because I think they are saving themselves more money to make bigger investments in the transfer portal moving forward.
Perfectly stated. So, yeah, the conversation of, hey, the Vols finished with a top 5, recruiting class may be out the window. And the other side of that is this is we were speaking last week to Hubs and about the amount of money that even 4-stars are being paid. I think the starting number that was in the article that we was going through is like a starting 4-star is about $350,000 to $400,000 for a 4-star. Like, think about that, and you're trying to get in a recruiting class, 12 to 13 of those each year. So think about the money that's going out, and also were you striking out on the 5-stars who are on rosters? And then, of course, the conversation, I guess the pushback is, well, Kurt Signetti in Indiana didn't have 5-stars on their roster, but that's why the Vols are transitioned to getting some 5-stars out of high school and going for probably a more mature player who's been developed somewhere else out of the portal. You look at the offensive line as it stands right now. Your right tackle's a transfer. You got a homegrown guy potentially at right guard, depending on what you do with Jesse Perry or Sham.
That's the kind of kid that is going to be patient, too, and probably willing to wait his turn a little bit more.
Absolutely. No, that knows he to develop, and the Vols do, too. Now, it's a matter of how quickly he develops and get himself out there in the field. Mm-hmm. That's the same thing that goes for the 3-stars, and if there are 2-stars now that are brought into the university anywhere else. But your center's a transfer, your left guard's a transfer, you got a high 5-star left tackle in David Sanders Jr., just looking at that part of it as well. So, yeah, you either better adapt or die. That's essentially what Josh Heupel and his staff are choosing to do right now. It really does. And we've had this conversation, and my sons are in the recruiting world right now, too. You have to ask the question, if you're a parent, what are you trying to do? You trying to go chase and get the big school? Are you trying to go develop and knock them over the head when they come for you a year or two later? Like, that's what you have to decide if you're in a position to say, well, this isn't enough money. Well, you can get the money from the portal and the NIL if you go to a smaller school, develop, and they'll come get you later. Case in point, what he was allegedly trying to do, like Brendan Sorsby. He did it the right way. Trinidad Chambliss is the gold standard. Heck, Hendon Hooker is the gold standard in trying to figure out how do you maximize this NIL through play if you're not at the place where you feel either they're doing their best to play you,
right,
or you're being developed.
Because a lot of times guys are committing to a place with the intent of, yeah, I'm probably out after a year or two. And Tennessee has been that, unfortunately, for a lot of players. And that's not just a Tennessee problem. That's happening everywhere.
Yeah.
So to your point, can you put yourself in the market more for the 5-star that you know is going to play right away and you're going to just give them whatever they want? And then the lower 4-star or 3-star that you don't have to pay as much, who's also going to give you more patience in return.
Yeah. It's, again, I'm glad that the Vols are learning from this. I hate that they got to learn in real time because you look at, of course, the Chaz Coleman situation, but not just him, the legend-based side of things. Like, it's only so much money could do for you as far as getting those recruits. If you really pour in and show these players out of high school specifically, they got a plan for you. You're worth the cost of admission. and you move on that way. Like there are a couple of cats coming out of Tennessee, which the talent level in the state I'm talking about, increased immensely.
Right.
I know Springfield's got a young player, and I know who else has got another. Beach has a high, potentially 4/5 star. Like it's
every year
it's
we
through
got
the roof.
players. Every year, this state and this city has players. There's no doubt. It's getting better every year. I think what I'm thinking about in terms of Tennessee's new recruiting strategy is using the 2024 class as an example of how the 13th best class in the country doesn't really do you much if all those guys leave in 2 years. If we look back at the 2024 recruiting class for Tennessee, Jordan Ross is at LSU. Mike Matthews and Braylon Staley are here. Boo Carter's at Colorado. Peyton Lewis is at Virginia Tech. I'm going in rank order right now of their best players. Bennett Warren is at Minnesota, tackle. Caleb Beasley is at Louisville, defensive back from right here at Lipscomb. Jake Merklinger's at UConn. William Satterwhite is at LSU. Again, 2 guys so far are still at Tennessee. Max Anderson, interior offensive lineman, is at Kentucky. Kellen Lindstrom is an edge who's at Missouri State. Edwin Spillman's still here.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Jordan Burns. I mean, like, we've really used like 2 starters out of the entire 2024 recruiting class, which was seen as a fine class. But you had a lot of guys who were good enough to get paid, but maybe not developed enough to play yet. And they're all gone. So what does that 13th ranking really do for you if none of those guys are there in 2 years?
Yeah. Where it kind of messes you up, though, too, is the projection of some of the ratings. Like, I look at Jordan Ross' situation. I'd love to have had him, but, like, the development that he still needed as a 5-star, like, you struck out. Like, you can't blame the Vols for fighting for that one in recruiting.
Sure. But in terms of what you got out of his 5-star ranking, you got nothing.
But look,
you got very little.
He left in his draftable year.
And so now someone else is going to benefit from that.
And that's...
You want to be more on the other side of those moving forward. I think Tennessee moving forward is going to spend more money on transfers and maybe marginally less on high school players. But when they do decide to spend on high school players, they're going to go all in on guys like David Gabriel Georges. So what that means is you better get them.
Yeah.
If that's what you're going to spend your money on, you better get them.
Get them.
And it sounds like Tennessee's going to.
I will say this to give credit to the Vols, though. Tristan Keys they got.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting. They fought back to
Faison Brandon they got.
Faison Brandon they got.
David Sanders they got.
David Sanders they got. If they get this one as well, like, one running back doesn't change.
They've got a pretty good track record on getting their top target right now.
But in but in college, the running back matters.
Last year, their one big miss was Savion Hyder going to Michigan. Running back.
Yeah.
But again, you get DGG next year.
It works.
Savion who? Respectfully. And he's going to be really good, to be fair. But
really good.
In your opinion, just to ask the question, because I know people are asking it, is $2 million a year for 3 years, Ramon, a smart investment for Tennessee to make in a running back? Because according to Chris Lowe, that is the price that Tennessee's got on the table in terms of all of it for David Gabriel Georges.
Initially, I'm going to say yeah, because as far as the talent that Vols has had with Sampson, you look at Bishop currently and the other running backs that they've had, and also with this offense, what they've done with those level of players, 3 stars and a walk-on, like in recent history. And this offense is buzzed well on the ground. So to say that he's worth that in this offense, initially, yes, 100% is worth it, because in college, it's about how simple can you be with allowing your A players, your 5 stars, maximize their talents. And in this offense, barring injury, he should cook, because they do seem like they're developing and getting the offensive linemen that they want. And Glenn Ellaby has become a better recruiter, the offensive line coach for the Vols, and a better teacher as of late.
It is absolutely a good investment, because I've seen this guy play in person. Y'all, I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like this guy. I'm not overselling you. I promise you. Yeah. You run for almost 500 yards and 7 touchdowns against Macaulay in a playoff game.
Yeah.
Macaulay, who is probably one of the best 100 teams in high school football every year now, with the Canadians that they also have on their roster, the investments that they've made in football. I've not seen many athletes that look like this guy. I really haven't. He's just different.
He is different.
There is a reason why we have been following this recruitment for months.
Mm-hmm.
Ramon, this guy is unreal. Yeah. This is the kind of player that is worthy of $2 million a year when he's playing in your state, regardless if he's from Canada or Australia or Timbuktu. That's a guy you've got to keep. And whew,
you know, the other
sounds
side
like it's going to happen.
Too, you can afford to pay when everybody else on the roster's numbers are a little bit low, which is the point, right?
Well, and two, on top of that, you're not Ohio State. You have to pay in order to win these battles.
That's true, too.
Ohio State has more talent. Ohio State has more options. You don't.
And a track record.
Ohio State has better high school football in Ohio than we do in Tennessee. They've got the horseshoe. They don't have to spend $2 million on running backs. Tennessee does to get this level of player. Tennessee had to overspend on David Sanders compared to what Ohio State was willing to offer because we don't have the plan B that Ohio State has. So until Tennessee can get to that level where you're churning out NFL first-round draft picks every year and you can sell the logo as just being what it is and say, oh, yeah, you'll take less to come here because we're going to get you farther. Yeah. Well, we haven't yet. So until we do, we got to spend. And sounds like they are.
Speaking of Ohio State, did you see how they're cleaning up on D-line? I got to pull it up
what
right
do you mean?
now this year as far as the Ohio State brand and what you as a Vols fan, we as Vols fans are up against. Just looking at what you just said. Ohio State landed, this is from Hayes Fawcett, who does a lot of stuff. I think it was on 3 or Rivals right
3
now.
Both.
The Buckeyes, they've landed 4 top 100 recruits, not just top 100. You want to hear them? The 5-star plus defensive tackle, DJ Jacobs, number 1 edge. 5-star Marcus Fakatu, number 2 defensive line. No, I almost threw that one off. 4-star, I got this name, Wyatt Smith.
There you go. Thanks, Wyatt.
And then another 4-star, Carlos May, the number 7 D-line, number 7 edge, number 2 D-line, and the number 1 edge. And the same, who's to say they're all going to make it by the end? That's also the point.
Yeah, that's the kind of recruiting they do every year.
This is what they do on the front end.
It's normal.
Yeah, they're closing out the summer with this.
Final call for phone calls, 615-737-1045 as we wrap up the show next. Wrapping up the show on Ramon and Will. Coming up later today, be locked in on 3HL for Media Days in Tampa. You know they'll crush it as always. As
100%.
Tennessee Day is day number one.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Martin, Tennessee Sports Information Director Extraordinaire, puts on Twitter. Again, if you tune into the show for the first time or whatever, like we just still call it Twitter, and I'm probably going to forever. Josh Heupel in the main room at 1:55. He will be on Feinbaum at 3:40. So there you go. That's from Bill Martin, Tennessee SID. There is no time yet on the 3HL Twitter for what time Heupel will be on. I imagine it will be probably at the beginning of the show, but I don't know. So tune in to find out.
Will be.
At 3HL 1045 on Twitter.
And they'll do a real good job with him usually. Savage usually gets him to unlock a little bit, so I'm fascinated to see how it kind of goes. That might be where we get the quarterback answer from, when he put him in a boom boom room.
The answer being, I don't know, Slay, who do you want? Josh will just turn it right back over on him. Like, I don't know, what do you think?
Well, in a good way I say this, but Josh Heupel in these big press moments, he's so boring.
Oh,
In a good coach way.
He takes pride in being boring.
So boring. I mean, like
he's winking at media members as he walks off the podium at times, being like, "Good luck with that."
Did you like?
I'm
that?
serious. That has happened.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like he's super button up and just boring with how he gives answers. And he'll do it with a smile. And then he walks you all the way down the street, around the corner, and back home to say nothing.
It's kind of funny. The interactions I've had with Heupel off air are so different than what you hear from him publicly into a microphone.
Way different.
Like when you can get him kind of laid back a little bit and just hanging out.
Yeah.
Does not sound like the guy that's going to talk today at the podium.
Hawk, you kicking us off the show?
Well, 9:55. It's over.
God,
we went long in about every single segment today.
It's
So
talking
it
season.
leaves us about a 2-minute left.
By the way, the NFL is doing a college thing now. The Bengals from Adam Schefter are doing their white helmets on New Year's Eve against the Ravens. They announced that, by the way. December 31st at 8:15. We doing that now?
Back at it tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Never doubt Ramon Foster's way to throw a subtle jab at an AFC North team that's not the black and yellow one. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning, bright and early.
What I am. But you must remember at all times, and we do mean this, SEC Media Days, your Twitter fingers and your mic is always hot.
A day at the spa, the perfect gift for birthdays, anniversaries, or any occasion. Lavish and luxurious, yet affordable. A grand gesture, yet simple for you. The gift card from A Moment's Peace. Give her the gift she won't buy herself. An escape, a bit of luxury. Something special that shows more than just words. A gift from A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa in Cool Springs across I-65 from Galleria Mall. Call 615-224-0770 or go online at amomentspeace.com anytime.